right, what's going on, everybody? Who you 186 back with the Overrated Podcast, episode 119. With me, as always, is Traditionalist 101. What's going on, man?
All right. Yes. Traditionalist 101 is here. And as I always say, ladies and gentlemen, we have to hold on to tradition. That's the only
Yeah,
way society will work.
Malta's in the chat. What's going on, bro? David, what's going on, man?
Yeah, I see how you wanted to interrupt me on purpose. But go ahead, go
No,
ahead,
no,
go
no,
ahead.
my bad. I thought you were done, but I know how drawn out you like to make your things. All right, but yeah,
But
I
yeah,
just want
shout out to you, Malta and Dave. I can't believe you guys are here so early. Much appreciated. You guys should be rewarded great.
to.
I'll figure out a way.
Okay. Anyways, since we have the first topic has to do with what happened this weekend, I'm gonna go first as far as what happened with me this weekend, which was pretty much same old. I think. Yeah, probably same old, same old.
Mm-hmm.
Um, anything interesting happen? No, not really, not really. No, I'm good. What about you?
Wait. You mean to tell me that nothing happened to you? Like nothing?
No, not really. Like Monday, obviously, we couldn't do the show Monday because I had to see my dad, and there's a bunch of other crap I had to do. But other than that, no, everything was pretty normal, I would say.
Normal.
Yeah,
As in boring? As in nothing special?
yeah, pretty much.
Okay. Whitney, you said hi guys. What's going on, Whitney? What's up? My bro said at 6 o'clock. Did you say 6 o'clock?
Yeah. Well, I said I tried. The goal was 6 o'clock, and then you said 7. So
Well,
it's like
what? No. You asked me what time. You didn't tell me you wanted to do 6.
no. If you were able to do 6, then it's fine. I told you. I asked you what time would you be able to start, and you said 7. That was fine. Not a big deal.
No, like if you wanted to do 6 o'clock, you should have told me. Then I would have tried to pick up the pace to actually do 6. Because like I said, the earlier the better. And for the fact that I'm waking up extra early for work, yeah, the earlier the better. So yeah, if you want to push for 6, I mean, yeah, I'll strive for 6, no problem.
Hmm. All right. So
Um,
Mota said that he's gonna try to stay the whole time or try. Yeah, hey, man, that's all. Hey man, as long as you try, that's all that matters, bro. As long as you're here right now is really all that matters.
yeah, agreed. Like don't you don't need to feel bad or apologize or anything. But the fact that you are actually trying still means a lot. So that's definitely much appreciated. Appreciate that.
Yeah. So he said that he had a great weekend. Was playing basketball for my life. You know.
Oh, yeah,
Joe.
I've a big shout out to you, Malta, because not only have you been working out, but you're also playing, basketball. So you're definitely, staying fit, and I really do appreciate, your commitment, because that stuff motivates me, as well. So I still try to do my workouts, as much as I can, especially after um after midnight. But when I have to wake up at work, it's just too difficult to incorporate that in my routine because work is the only thing that hinders me, from doing anything outside of work. You know what I'm saying? Because when you have to wake up extra early, it kind of offset even the things that you want to do in the evening time because you have to obviously you have to wake up, you have to sleep earlier, so it kind of like offset all your errands or your goals that you have to do. So it's hard, man. But I do like your consistency. So kudos to you.
All right. Joe said that your dad still seems like he's drunk. I have no idea where that came from. I don't.
Does he drink?
I mean, yeah, back in the day, yeah, but not like I wouldn't call him like a drunk or drunk like I wouldn't call him that.
Did something happen, with your dad that I don't know about, like a past story that I don't know about that happened, with your dad and Joe was probably a witness, or was it a story that you just refused to tell me?
No, no, no. I have no idea. I have no idea what Joe's talking about. But yeah, he's doing fine. Like he just he's getting older, so you kind of have to take care of him more, and it is what it is. But
Okay,
he said he didn't. I didn't say he was drunk,
that's
but
exactly what you said.
still seems like I don't understand. I don't. No, I just look. I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't. What has he ever acted like he was drunk? I don't. I don't think so.
Have you ever seen your dad drunk before?
Yeah, of course.
Was
Yeah.
Joe there? Okay, was Joe there
I
when it
don't.
happened?
Oh, okay. That's weird terminology, Joe. But um, what did you ask me again?
When you said you seen your dad drunk before, was
Yeah, of
was
course.
Joe did Joe witness the same thing?
I don't think so, but I guess he meant that he's always been lax and chill and whatever. I guess that's what he meant,
Oh,
and
okay.
yeah, I guess that's what he meant. And, no, I was just thrown off by it. I was just thrown off by the terminology, but no, he's fine. Like he's still kind of like he's still pretty much the same. You know what I mean? Like, but he is getting older, so you have to. I do have to watch out for him, more
Mm-hmm.
than in the past. So yeah. But Joe, he's doing fine. He's doing fine.
That's good. I see you still got a couple more. Um, I'm glad your dad doesn't have alcoholic problems. My dad didn't either. Neither do I. Yeah, that is. I really am very surprised how common people who I have known, friends or whatnot, would tell me how drunk their mom or dad would be, like on a daily basis, to where it actually ruins relationships, I guess.
Why are you
And
surprised by this?
no, well, I guess it surprises me of how many people that I knew, not as a as a society type of thing, of people who actually who I knew. Well, I don't want to say the person's name, but there is someone who was very close to me
Mhm.
who who had a drinking problem, and yeah, it didn't turn out well. So
Mhm.
when you hear these stories, whether in newspapers or in social media, or any type of or like, let's say, in sports media, or like how in WWE people having drunk problems,
Yeah.
to me it's different to where you actually have a family member or a friend who is actually going through the exact same thing. It's like, okay, what do you do? Are you gonna? You can't. You're not gonna just tell the person what to do, like you're his mother or father. Hey, you need to stop drinking. Like, and that is like one of the common things that you should say. But at
Yeah.
the end, go ahead.
When someone has a drinking problem, it's very hard to handle it because you don't know what to do,
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to
and
say.
people have it's just tough when an addiction just becomes where it becomes something where it pretty much affects their livelihood. There's the only person that can ultimately get that person help is the person themselves. They have to admit that they have a problem, and when they can't admit that they have a problem, it's always going to be harder for them to overcome that problem.
Yeah.
And even if they do admit it, it still can be hard.
Yeah. And that's how it could definitely, like I said, it could compromise relationships, your friendship,
Yeah.
because there's going to be situations to where enough is enough, and you just don't want to be around that anymore. And or let's say drama starts happening or fight starts happening. It's like you don't want to be in that type of toxic environment. But at the end of the day, you don't want to just leave the person there by themselves because something may happen, and then you'll feel responsible. So it's a lot. It's just all I'm saying is it's just very different when you actually see it firsthand. So I feel bad for all the kids that actually have to grow up, you know, seeing that their parents are having a drinking problem. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
what can I
Oh,
say? Like, what can I do?
yeah.
So,
Let me see. All right. So Alice is in the chat. How you doing, Alice? Happy
Alice,
holiday.
happy holidays to you too. Is this
Yes.
your first
Yes.
time here,
Oh,
Alice? Is this your first time?
right.
Yeah. So, Alice, I want to give you a shout out because I don't ever remember seeing you on here before. But if this is your first time, welcome. I really appreciate having you here. But just if you don't mind, let me know if this is your first time because I'm trying to remember if I've seen you before. I just can't remember. But go ahead, Ruby.
All right. So conspiracy agent. I feel like it's been a while since we've seen conspiracy agent on here.
Yeah. It's been. I think it's been a while too. But yeah, big shout
Yeah,
out to
bro. How
you.
you doing? How you doing, bro? How you doing? How you doing?
Yeah, if you have any more packages, bro, let me know. Yeah, he
Yeah.
knows what I'm
So
talking about. He knows what I'm talking about.
yeah. Well, obviously we have Thanksgiving this weekend, so hopefully everyone's gonna have a happy Thanksgiving. Um, no, I mean pretty much it. Like that's pretty much it. Just everyone chatting amongst themselves. Yeah. So I didn't do nothing this weekend. So what about you? What do you do?
I celebrate Christmas, but not Halloween. Yeah, I don't celebrate Halloween either. And you know what's funny, Malta? The main reason why I don't celebrate Halloween is really all my dad's fault. And ever since we was a kid, I would see people dressed up as like Batman or Superman or whatever, and I always felt angry that I could never participate in that. But then as I grew older and I understood the origin of Halloween and how they're saying, oh, it's not something that you should be celebrating, that with the combination of my dad, I just decided not to celebrate it, and now I don't feel bad about it either. So when people invite me to these Halloween parties and telling me to dress up, I just really don't. It's just not my thing. So yeah, I don't celebrate either on Malta. Conspiracy say shopping plazas are crowded. you know, me and Ryan always have that same conversation every year of how people are running around trying to do their last minute Thanksgiving shopping, their last minute Christmas shopping. Like you would think that out of all these years that they would have learned their lesson by now. But no, the same thing happens all over the place. You have to deal with traffic. You have to deal with long lines. You have to deal with people, just fighting and causing drama. Like it's the same thing every single year. But it is what it is.
All right. So what do you do this weekend?
Let me see. Well, I pretty much was just searching for a new vehicle, and I found a couple of vehicles that I like. So I'm just gonna, they're waiting for me to make a final decision. So I'm just trying to figure out which one that I should choose.
Are you going to
So
an actual dealer, or are you going to one of those who or how are you gonna buy how are you gonna buy your vehicle?
no finance, obviously.
Oh, okay. So that means that you're going to an actual dealer, or you're going to like one of those like what type of dealer are you going to?
But one is a Toyota dealership, and one is a well, it's auto something, auto, some weird word that they had on there.
So you're going to one. So one place is an actual dealership, and the other one is kind of like a second tier
Correct,
dealership. Oh,
correct.
okay.
Yeah. So I'm trying to figure out which one is a better deal for me. So I'm kind of stuck, but I'm probably going to make my decision by this Friday, Black Friday. Like
Do you have
I
an
want,
idea? Do you have an idea what car you want?
yeah, I want to get a pickup truck. So when I start doing all types of work on the side,
Mm-hmm.
a pickup truck will be very convenient because with the SUV that I have, it's not big enough. Like all the things that I've been wanting to do, SUVs are just not big enough. pickup trucks and those really big work vans are far more convenient and more sufficient, and it just increased productivity when you have a
Mhm.
larger vehicle. So
And the good news is, last time I was at the gas pump, the cheapest gas is like in the twos. I never thought that would ever happen again.
well, which gas station was it?
It was a Chevron.
Oh, okay. That's surprising.
Yeah, you know. Anyways, you have an answer for Motel here? What do you guys think of this new wave of chicks lifting weights? I don't think it's new. I just think you're seeing it. You're just seeing it more. No, I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah.
As long as they're healthy and as long as they're healthy, that's all that matters.
I don't have an issue with it, but if they start
Right.
looking like if they start having bodies like Hulk Hogan and Lex Luger, then oh my gosh, no, not no. I think that's too much. That's what they want, if that's what they like, go ahead. But I think that's too much. That's crazy.
All right. So pickup truck equals dickhead driver. Steve's a good driver. I'll give him that. He's always been a good driver.
Yeah, except for that one time when, except for that one time, right, when when you were afraid of me driving.
No, no, no. Yeah, I knew why. No, that was the only time I knew why. We don't have to rehash it.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Uh, I think chicks lifting is fine as long as they don't have weird goals like looking masculine. I mean,
Well, yeah, that's why I said, yeah, if they start looking like Hulk Hogan or Lex Luger, yeah, I think that's a little too much. Like for a perfect example is China. When she first came into the WWE, if you for those of you who remember, when she first came into the WWE, I thought she was a dude. I clearly thought that this was just a dude, dressing, like a woman. That's what I thought. I thought that's who I thought China was. Until later on, I discovered that, oh, this is an actual woman. But then when she actually started to look more feminine, I said, wow, she actually looks good. But I'm sorry, but in any woman that looks like how China looks, it's like, ugh, too masculine. You look like a guy. It's too much. It's too much. Now, obviously, having us going to say, oh, they could do whatever they want, but I bet you when you first saw China, you probably thought she was a dude too.
no, I just didn't think she was. I mean, I didn't really think she was. I didn't think she was attractive.
Okay, well, enough said. Enough said.
Yeah, but I mean, well, the first thing obviously she did was she got the breast implants, and then she kind of I guess she kind of leaned. Not I wouldn't say leaned out, but she lost some muscle. And there was one point where you can make an argument that she was one of the best look, not best looking. There's a girl who cosplayed as her
Hmm.
who looks absolutely stunning,
Oh, really?
who looks amazing. Yeah, and I don't think China's ever looked that good.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But that's just personal preference type thing. But yeah, like I said, I don't really care as long as they're healthy and they like what they like. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
And they'll say I fuck with these muscle mommies. Dude, there's no way a woman can look like Hogan. He had 24 inch pythons. Well, there's some women out there who have some massive muscles.
Yes. Yes. That's why I mentioned him, and that's why I mentioned Lex Luger. But China. I think China is a prime example. There's this other chick that Hoovy loves. I forgot her name. This black chick who
Jade
very very.
Cargill.
Yeah, I think she still wrestles, doesn't she?
Yeah, yeah. He wrestles
Yeah.
in WWE now. Yeah.
Yeah, and there was another one that was similar to her physique. I don't think she wrestles anymore, but I forgot what her name was. But I don't think she wrestles anymore. But there's someone who is very similar to where she was also black, and I think they said she was supposed to be somewhat of an imitation of China also.
Mhm.
And I said to myself, yeah, their faces, they're fine, but as as people may say that, oh yeah, they look good, they look good, they look good. Having all that muscle is like, oh, it's just so unattractive to me. I can't deal with it. And I would never date a girl that looks like Lex Luger. I'm sorry.
Okay, so critical drop, what's going on, man? Like lawsuit over PlayStation Store prices that could cost Sony 7.9 billion allowed to move forward. The lawsuit claims PlayStation is overcharging customers for digital games and DLC.
Did you hear about that?
Yeah, I heard about it. It happened today.
And he didn't say anything about it.
I didn't really care to talk about it because we technically already talked about it.
We did.
We technically did. But we can jump back into it next week.
All right. So stay tuned on Critical Drop. We'll talk about that next week. But yeah, I wish you had said something. But go ahead.
So Steve, Joe doesn't want you to hate on Jade Cargill. She's hot. No, I concur. She's hot.
No, look. I'm just saying that she's just not for me. It's too much muscle. She looks too masculine for me, and yeah, that's just not the type of girls that I'm into. But again, if that's what she likes, then go ahead, knock yourself out. But for me, it's unattractive to me to see all that muscle in the girl. When you look like China or Lex Luger, no, I can't deal with it.
All right. Anything else happened to you this weekend?
No. Let's continue with the podcast because I know you.
You said something about you were happy with something that happened in the NFL.
Okay, so here's the thing, guys. You all know how I have been feeling about the Jets this season, and how it was very disappointing. I was pretty much in a melancholy type of mood when Aaron Rodgers got hurt, and everybody, for some reason, when I say everybody, I'm talking about the coaching staff. For some reason, they thought that Zach Wilson was going to be a good backup. Now, after Sunday's game, the reason why I wanted to celebrate is because finally the Jets did something what I told them to do weeks ago, and he got benched for Boyle. Now, here's the thing.
What's his first name?
Hold on. It's starts with a T. Hold on. Wait. Don't say nothing. Don't say nothing.
No, I have no idea what his name is either. So
hold on. It's something Boyle. Dude, I can't get it out of my mouth. Can't get his name out of my mouth. Crap, man. But why you ask?
No, I'm just asking if you knew who he was, and frankly, obviously, you don't know who he is. So, name Boyle. That's what we're going to refer to him as.
Yeah, his name is Boyle. Yeah, I find it very interesting. I know you do this all the time. Whenever you don't know something, you always want to challenge me if I know it. You do this to me every single time. Every year.
Well, it's your team. I figured you would know who this guy was. He's on your team.
Whatever, dude.
No, whatever. Like you should know who he is.
Like I said, it starts with a T. I think it's Todd Boyle or I think it's Tim Boyle. I think it is Tim Boyle. I think. Let me look. I think it's Tim Boyle.
It really doesn't matter.
I think it's Tim Boyle. Let me see.
Frankly, it doesn't even matter. Your team's going to be the same no matter what.
Right. Yeah.
And let me also say this. Let me also say this. If Aaron Rodgers comes back and he decides to come back and he gets hurt again, I am absolutely laughing in his face. This guy thinks that he can come back after having an Achilles injury, and he thinks that he's gonna help this team win. He whatever happened to him, he deserves it. Whatever happened to him, he deserves it.
Well, at the end of the day, our offensive line stinks.
Yeah,
that's the true problem. Our offensive line stinks.
But if he
They
wants to come
stink.
back, if they want to come back, then that's fine. That's perfectly fine. Let him, and then he'll get killed, and then he'll probably retire.
Well, but here's the thing. I already knew that we was going to lose against the Bills. I already knew we was going to lose. I thought at the very least, because of our defense, we would have had a fighting chance. At the very least, make the game at least close. But as soon as the game started, what happens? Freaking Gibson fumbles the football. He fumbles the ball. The Bills scores, and as soon as that first turnover had happened, I said, okay, yeah, this is going to be a very long day, a very 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 long day. I was just right then and there. I just said to myself, yeah, okay, this team is not going anywhere. And then you have freaking Wilson, who sometimes I say to myself, what is this guy doing? He's constantly getting sacked. He's constantly doesn't want to throw away the football. He's constantly going too deep in the pocket. And I'm just saying, like bro, like it seems like he never tried to make any adjustments ever since he started when Aaron Rodgers got hurt. Like he played the exact same way game after game after game after game. And that is one of the reasons why I wanted the Jets to get rid of this guy. I'm sick of Wilson. I don't want him in the Jets uniform anymore. I don't. I don't. He had his chance. Now I'm not saying that Tim Boyle is our future quarterback, but
What's his name?
I'm just happy that we have a change.
That's
You know
his
what I'm saying?
name.
Yeah. I'm just happy that we're having a change. That's what I'm happy about. Now we
All
lost.
I'm,
Go ahead.
all I'm gonna say is this: don't lose. If you're the Dolphins, don't lose to the Jets. Don't lose to the Jets. That's all I'm gonna say.
Why?
You know why? That
Well,
team sucks.
I think what's going to happen that we're going to split. I bet you we're going to split. I bet you we're going to split.
I'm not accepting a split.
Yeah, I think we're going to split. I think we're going to split with the Dolphins because I
I'm
think
not.
I think I think our defense is still elite. Because mind you, even though the Buffalo Bills went down the field, we stopped them twice, and they had to score a field goal twice. We stopped them at the end zone multiple times.
Hey, listen.
The problem is Wilson is garbage. I mean,
Listen.
Wilson is garbage, and the offensive line is garbage. This has nothing to do with their defense. The team cannot stop the blitz. You know what I'm saying? The team doesn't run with the ball enough. Like we only ran for like 60 yards in that game. We turn over the ball too much, and all the stupid decisions that they constantly make. You score it. I think there was one play they scored a touchdown, and then they tried to make a 2-point conversion in the first half. Like why? Why? I'm not accepting this type of BS from this team anymore. Like I can't. I can't. So I'm not saying I'm done with the Jets, but our season is pretty much over. We cannot have this up and down, type of type of season, especially when we have a garbage quarterback and we have a garbage offensive line, which is why I don't want Aaron Rodgers to come back. Not with that offensive line. I don't want him. I don't want him coming back. Wait till they get that fixed. Get 100%, and then we will be elite next year.
I hope he does come back. That fucking idiot. Anointed 1988. What's going on, bro? David said that Wilson was serviceable for 3 games. Yeah, he was, and then I don't know what happened, but
What
it
happened was what happened was the coaching staff finally came to their senses, and they finally made the change. They finally made the change, and that's what I'm happy about. And now Boyle, he didn't really do that much better, but I felt more comfortable when he was on the field than when Wilson was on the field. Because look, when if you're Wilson, you see that the defense they're lining up 5-6 defensive linemen. Like obviously they're going to put extra pressure on you. blitzing or whatever. Do quick throws. Stop holding on to the football all the time. You could clearly, if you could count and you see that there's 5, 6 guys in the line of scrimmage, what are you holding the football for? Do quick throws so you don't get sacked. And what does he do? He holds on to the football, takes 5, 6, 7 yards back in the pocket, and then he gets sacked every single time he does that. Like the guy does not know what he's doing. It feels like he's choking all the time. So I'm over it, man. I'm over it. This is just basic stuff. You should be able to make some type of adjustments. This is basic knowledge, and you still do the same mistake over and over again. So I'm over with that dude, man. I'm over it.
You don't think that you don't think they don't know what he can and can't do? I think it's pretty. Look, I don't think he can play there with that O line. He can't. You can't see what he can do with that O line. It just can't happen. Now, like I said, I'm not gonna say that it's over for him, but they can't keep putting him out there behind that O line.
Dude, it's over.
So they had to make a change. Now, if Rodgers come back either this couple weeks or next year, then I don't think you can keep him. I think that if you're going to replace him, then you gave him a chance this year, and based on the results, he just can't. He's not doing it for you, and you have a team that is ready to win. That's why you brought in Aaron Rodgers. But I mean, it is what it is, man. There's nothing.
Yeah. It is what it is. For goodness sakes, we were 0 for 11 on third down efficiency. 0 for how do you become 0 and 11 and you haven't committed not one? You haven't committed 0 for 11, bro.
Is when you have a bad O line, a quarterback who's not ready, and you have below par receivers. That's what happens. So,
and don't forget two interceptions, mind you. Also had 2 interceptions. And last thing before we move on, to another team if you want. The last thing I really need to call out the organization. You knew that the trading deadline was like in what, October 30th? Mm-hmm. You knew that. And what did you do? You didn't pick up anybody. You didn't pick up Carson Wentz. And this is gonna sound crazy. You know who I probably would rather have right now? Mm-hmm. Nick Foles.
Where is he at?
He's not playing. I don't think I think if I remember correctly, the Colts cut him. I think around March.
Let me look it up on my phone.
Yeah, I think the Colts have cut him around March. Why haven't you guys tried to get him? Now, obviously, you can't get Matt Ryan. I think he's signing up with CBS or someone.
Oh, he's a free agent.
Matt Ryan?
No, Nick Foles. He's a free agent.
Are you sure he didn't get cut?
No, I mean he probably did get cut, but he's a free agent as of right now.
Yeah, so they didn't get. I mean, like get Nick Foles if you have to.
I mean, I think that
if you have to.
Like I said, the only guys who can improve your team is the guys who are already there. And of the guys who are already there, unfortunately, Zach Wilson is your best option.
No, I don't want to hear that. No, not a guy who can't read defense. No,
right.
No. I don't ever want you to say that again. No, he is not a quarterback. He's not. I'm sick of that dude. No, I'm tired of it, dude. I am tired. I'm tired. It's time to make a change. Freaking sign a quarterback who's a free agent right now, like you mentioned. If Nick Foles, if you could get Nick Foles, go get him. anything right now is better than Zach Wilson.
All right, so we might as well start the podcast with the other team.
Now,
With the other team.
now, as far as your Dolphins is concerned, yeah, you guys won. Yeah, you guys won. But I want to say this before we actually start. I want to say this. I don't want to hear anything anymore about you saying that Tua is still the MVP. There's no more for MVP anymore.
Why?
I don't want to hear that anymore because to me,
Why?
right now, Lamar Jackson, I think he has surpassed Tua, and I also think Hurts also surpassed Tua. And let's be real here.
No,
Let's be real here.
I am not. I'm not. No, I'm not allowing this. Well, what did Hurts do yesterday?
What you mean? They won.
Okay, who gives a fuck if they won? Did you see his
They
numbers?
won. They won.
Did you see his numbers? Did you see his numbers? You right?
No, I think yeah, I think I'm all right. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, he didn't do anything in that game. Do you look at the numbers?
Well, the Kansas City has a great defense.
Okay, and I guarantee you. Okay, you know, I like the fact that you said that because you were saying that. Did you get that same excuse for Tua when they played Kansas City? Did you get that same excuse for Tua when he played Philadelphia, who also has a great defense?
Okay.
Did you get that excuse for Tua when he played Buffalo when they had a good defense before their injuries?
Okay, but you guys haven't been a good team yet. That's the thing.
Wait. So Denver, the team that beat Kansas City and Buffalo, now they're not a good. So it depends on it. So they're not a good team. They're not a good team.
No, Denver's not a good team. No.
No, even though they beat Buffalo and Kansas City.
Okay.
So
and what did you guys do to that exact same team? I don't think I need to help you. I don't think I need to help you remember what you guys did to Denver.
Yeah, we put 70 points on them.
Okay. You guys pretty much play basketball. That's what you guys did. You guys play basketball.
Okay. So Tua doesn't get credit for none of that.
No, of course he gets credit. Of course he gets credit. All I'm saying is that I don't think he's, an MVP. At least he's not top 3. I don't think he's not top 3. He's probably top 5.
I mean, all right, we're playing semantics here. You don't mention Jalen Hurts in the same category after that performance. You look at the two numbers; they're not comparable.
Well, okay. What about Lamar Jackson?
I don't know. I don't know what Lamar Jackson. Well, actually, I do. Hold on a second. Let me check my fantasy team because I beat Lazaro in our fantasy team.
Really?
Yeah, I did.
Do you use the app or you just go on the browser?
I use the app.
Okay. So you beat Lazaro. Let me text buddy right now that you that you over here talking smack.
No, I ain't talking smack. I'm just I'm just being honest. Let me see the numbers. Let's see. They don't have his numbers here, but yeah, but look, I have no problem with him being an MVP candidate, but don't sit there and point out, be like Tua. Oh, you just mentioned Tua when he was. Well, look at the numbers. Look at the numbers. Go ahead. What?
No, you said something about Tua, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, don't. What the Tua have to do with it? Like he did what he can do. He can't help it when guys can't make catches. And yeah, Las Vegas, they have a good defense. They do. So why are you singling out Tua?
Because you had to hear you all season saying that he should be number 1 for MVP. That's why. Okay. That's why. And I don't hear that same energy anymore from you.
He absolutely should still be MVP.
Number one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. What happened? What happened? What happened Sunday that changed that?
No. Okay. Okay. Okay.
I'm just being real. Like, cause look, I'm not trying to diminish Jalen Hurts, but he didn't have a good game on Monday.
Okay. But that's
He
just one
didn't.
game. That's one game.
That's the main reason why you bringing it up because of one game.
It's one game. But look how well the team is doing overall though. They have the best
Okay,
record in the. Go ahead.
props to him, and props to the team.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's all you had to say. You just sitting there bringing up Tua for no reason.
Yeah, yeah, of course I'm going to bring Tua because I like I said, you said that he should be MVP, and I don't think so anymore. Frankly, I still think for the Miami Dolphins, it's still Tyreek Hill,
Okay.
and if it's not Hill, I would say McCaffrey. I think he should be considered MVP, not Brock as much as. And I'm still waiting for the apology. By the way, I'm still waiting for the apology, for you to apologize to Brock, and that's what you need to do. You need to suck your pride. And you need to recognize that he is a very good quarterback, and you need to apologize to the man. That's the other thing I'm also waiting for you to apologize, because obviously you can't say that he's not giving you good numbers, and the team is back on track now that everybody's healthy. You see what I'm saying? The team is back on track now that everybody's healthy, and you needs to come on this podcast and apologize to the same guy that you say, "Oh, I'm not interested in talking about if you're a stream quarterback. Oh, I'm not interested in talking about somebody who was last in the draft." You, sir, need to apologize to Brock and acknowledge that he is a very good quarterback. And I'm telling you right now, if this team goes to the Super Bowl and win, you need to classify him as elite. Well, let's move on.
No, we're not moving. No, we're not moving on.
Yeah,
Because you saw what happened. Because it's so funny that you do this, right? So Tua, if he can't be great without Tyreek Hill, right? But yet when it comes to Purdy,
I knew he was going to do that. I knew he was going to
the
do this.
fact
Go
that he
ahead.
has all that talent around him, when they weren't healthy, he stunk. He stunk. You never brought that up. I know that the Brock Purdy, the fake apology that I'm supposed to give to him,
Yes.
paused for 3 weeks. Didn't hear nothing about it for 3 weeks. Now that all of a sudden his team is healthy, his skill players are healthy, and he's playing well again. Now all of a sudden I have to give him an apology again after almost a month of it being disappearing.
Yeah. Yeah. He had an excuse. All his players were not there. All of his players were not there. So when you don't have anybody, to take pressure off of you, when you don't have anyone, to throw to, then yeah, of course. I mean, there's really nothing that the guy could do. And it was multiple guys. Like if it was just one person, I could understand your point. But if it's multiple guys who are injured, then yeah, that's going to cause a problem for your quarterback, any quarterback. You know what I'm saying? So like, I don't see what the big issue here. And yes, I still expect you to apologize because they are continuing to take care of their business.
Yeah, no, I'm not. Yeah, that's not happening. Um. All right. So facts don't care about your feelings. Zach is your quarterback.
And what happened? He got benched. That's what happened. That's what
Anything
happened.
better than Zach Wilson, you'll keep him. You'll keep him more than Jay Cutler. Or Jay Cutler retired.
Yeah, Jay Cutler is hard, but I'll take him. I'll take him. I'll definitely take him over Zach Wilson. Absolutely, I would.
I've been there, done that. Not interested. No one does well if their support isn't there. I agree.
Thank you,
I
thank
agree.
you, Brian.
But
Thank you, Brian.
here's the part.
Maybe you should type that again so that we could officially understand. That's
No,
why Brock was
I know.
struggling.
I know.
Okay.
Because here's the thing. Like Tua didn't have much his first 2 years, but yet everyone was ready to jump off a ship with him. Everyone was ready to get rid of Tua after a couple years, including the former head coach.
Okay.
So all of a sudden, when he gets somebody who's elite, now all of a sudden we now want that guy to win MVP instead of Tua, because Tua can't do it without all his talent. But yet we'll give Brock Purdy all the praise in the world, despite the fact that he has the best skilled players in the NFL.
Here's the difference, and I told you this already, and I'm going to debunk you some more. The difference is no one has considered Brock Purdy to be MVP. Tua, yes, but not Brock. No one has considered Brock to be MVP. They consider McCaffrey to be MVP. You see the difference now. You see the difference now. You have all these people. Well, I should say all these people. It was a mixture of people saying that it should be Tua or it should be Tyreek Hill. When it comes to the 49ers, it's all McCaffrey. They didn't mention Brock.
I haven't heard that. But everyone knows what Brock Purdy is. Everyone knows what he is. He's a good quarterback with elite skilled players. That's what they are. He's a good quarterback with elite skilled receivers. That's what he has. Tua was arguably would have been the number one pick if it wasn't for the hip injury.
You think so?
Yeah. If it wasn't for the hip injury, he would have been either 1 or 2.
I don't know about that now.
Yeah, because
I'm trying to remember who.
Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow was number 1, and the reason why Joe Burrow became number 1 was because he had one amazing year in LSU. I think he was in Ohio State. He transferred, and then he had like one great year in Ohio State, and that was the year that Tua got hurt. So obviously, if Tua's hurt, then who's going to be the next guy in charge? And Tua wasn't healthy when he got drafted. He wasn't healthy. He was not healthy, but they brought him in anyway. And in the middle of the year, they had him start.
Okay.
So like I said before, I was telling someone, shout out to her, Eric Cuts for the win. I was telling her that the first thing, because you have a good team in Las Vegas, the first thing you gotta do is get rid of Jimmy Garoppolo. That's who you gotta get rid of.
Wait, hold on. You think the Raiders are good?
Yeah, they play well against us. At least defensively, they play well against us.
Yeah, but we all knew that Miami was going. We all knew that Miami was going.
Yeah, of course, because Miami's better than them.
Yeah, by far.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean they're not a good team. They have really good players on that team. Max Crosby is a great player. They have Devontae Adams. Like the only thing they're missing is a quarterback. Mm-hmm. And the guy who played, I forgot his name. I think his name is O'Connell. He did okay, but he's not their future. And it's damn sure it's not Jimmy Garoppolo. You know what I'm saying? It's not Jimmy Garoppolo. So
I just find the hate that you have for Jimmy is hilarious.
No, I never understood why everyone saw him as anything good. That's why I'm not understanding.
Well, he's more like a system quarterback, and you know what I think. You know what I also think he would have been better off if he had stayed with if he had stayed in New England. If he had stayed in New England, I think he probably would have been better off in this thing, with that team being coached by Belichick.
Probably, you always hear conspiracy theories about certain like what happened there. Maybe Tom Brady was the one that forced him out, and I hear all this garbage.
Yeah.
But, ultimately, he was in San Francisco. He did okay for a while, but he was too injury prone, and they have a guy who can do what he does, but better. And Oakland, like if you're Oakland, like you shouldn't be happy with the position you're in. That's why you fired your coach, and that's why you bench Garoppolo, because that dude stinks. He stinks. So yeah. So I mean, as far as like I said, like all talk about Tua aside, don't lose on Friday. not interested in seeing them lose on Friday.
Well, like I said, I think it's going to be a split. I don't think Miami's going to win both games against New York. But like I said, this is going to be December. The last 3-4 games, that is where it's going to be very, very interesting for Miami. The last 3 games. But you know what?
This is a dangerous game. This is absolutely a dangerous game. I can shit on the Jets all I want. It definitely is a dangerous game.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not interested in seeing them lose. Thankfully, our defense has been spectacular. And as long as you keep it coming, then we should win this game and should win it. I don't want to say easy, but we should it should be good.
Okay. Right. And big shout out. Then one last thing. Speaking of when we was talking about Hurts, even though you claim that he didn't do anything, big shout out for the comeback victory for Philadelphia. I thought the Chiefs had that thing in the bag. But once Mahomes threw that interception, at the end zone, oh my gosh, okay. That's when I said, okay, well, now we officially have a game going on. But I did not expect to come back victory. But you know what that reminded me of? Miami did a similar thing to Kansas City when you guys played against them because they didn't score in the second half.
No,
if you remember.
Yeah, they didn't. And the only difference in the game was the fumble. That was the difference in the game. Was the fumble?
I forgot who fumbled.
It was Tyreek Hill.
Oh, that's right. Yes, that big fumble. Yes.
Yeah, because we like you said, you say that we were in that game the whole way. We were. They scored twice early, but we were on the comeback trail and then the turnover.
Yeah.
And let me also mention this: like you can't turn the ball over 3 times against a good team. You can get away with it against the Giants. You can get away with it against the Raiders. You can't get away with that against every team.
No.
We need to start protecting the football.
Yeah, agree. And and I'll say that as great, Patrick Mahomes has been, he's been turning the ball over too much too. And I think he needs to clean that up.
Here's the thing. He don't have no one around him either. Outside of Travis Kelce, he don't have much around him.
Yeah. Well, that's what they get for getting rid of Tyreek Hill. That's what they get. Like I said before, I think they are taking Patrick Mahomes for granted, and he is getting, the Tom Brady treatment to where, you're so good, you're so elite. Oh, you could just make any guy better, and he could probably do that. I could understand he could probably do that, but it's still a disservice, for him. You want at least a number 1 or number 2, wide receiver on your team, and he doesn't have any. Why would you do that to your quarterback? That team is doing the exact same thing what Bill Belichick did to Tom Brady, not giving him any great receivers outside of Randy Moss. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you want to argue that, well, Deion Branch was good, I wouldn't consider Deion Branch an elite wide receiver.
No, the best wide receiver they ever had over there was Randy Moss.
Yeah.
As far as wide receiver, when it comes to the tight end, then obviously they had Gronk and Hernandez for a while. But
and I do like Wes Welker. He was good too.
Yeah. Wes Welker was really good for them.
Yeah. So at least he had somebody.
Yeah, some talent, but like near the end, what he had in Tampa was ideal for him. That's what he wanted, and New England, for whatever reason, was not willing to do that for him.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Well, that's all I have to say. If there's any other team you want to talk about, you can go ahead. Yeah, but I don't have any. I don't have any other team. Like, I'm happy that Green Bay won, but I still think their season is over.
Then they beat the Steelers, right?
Yeah, they won.
And then the Steelers ended up firing their offensive coordinator.
Oh yeah, I heard about that. I heard about that.
Yeah. So
I heard about that. But but if you're talking about yesterday though, no, they beat the Chargers yesterday.
Oh yeah,
I
they
mean,
beat
I
the.
mean
Oh okay,
Sunday.
okay, okay. Oh okay. Yeah, they beat the Chargers, and their coach is going to get fired.
Oh snap!
Yeah, that coach is getting fired even if they make the playoffs, they better make a deep run in the playoff or else he's gonna get fired.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
So
yeah, I don't think Green Bay is going anywhere. I don't think we're going to catch up against Minnesota and Detroit. So I think our season's over
yeah.
for Green Bay. So whatever.
All right, so yeah, Rosemary, what's going on? Brian says that some people presence energizes the team.
I agree with
Yeah,
that.
but ultimately talent is what wins over. F is in the chat. What's going on, bro?
What's up, F? How you doing, brother?
And this comment I will save this comment for our the top for when it comes up. But go ahead,
Oh yeah.
talk about. Well, go ahead, talk about what we can get the podcast started
Okay.
officially.
It did officially start, but I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Okay, so our first topic is going to be a very sad, gruesome topic, but I really want to discuss this because it affected my team. And the sad news for me is I think FSU season is over. Now, who we didn't know what I was talking about when I put that on Discord because he assumed that my team had lost.
Yeah.
Now we beat North Alabama, we beat them, but that came at a cost. And what am I talking about here? So here's what happened. So we had a situation to where, let me share this article and then I'm going to share the audio real quick. This article pretty much talks about a particular tackle that happened on Saturday. Yeah, was it Saturday? Yeah, on Saturday. With Jordan Travis, who was a quarterback for FSU, and he pretty much got injured and he is out for the rest of the season. And John Harbaugh, he said mummed on whether he'd ban the hip drop tackle, which hurts Raven star and led to a gruesome injury for FSU quarterback, which is the main thing that we're talking about right now. So I'm going to read two paragraphs because I have something to say, and then I'll go and play the video. Not the video, but the discussion about the banning the tackle. So 5 days after a hip tackle knocked Ravens tight end Mark Andrews out of the game, and another came close to doing the same, quarterback Lamar Jackson, at least one member of the NFL competition committee is reportedly calling for a ban on the move now. Okay, so the hip tackle is a technique used by defenders, oftentimes to bring down larger opponents. So this is key right here. That's the whole point of why people do this type of tackle, wherein they wrap their hands around the ball carrier and then drop their weight down. So what they do is whenever, if they're from the side or behind, let's say a wide receiver or a running back, they kind of give them like a bear hug and then they purposely drop themselves onto the ground to make a full tackle, because a lot of times at full speed it's very difficult to grab leverage since they're moving forward. So they try to add some sort of resistance, some friction by dropping to the ground to prevent them from getting a first down or a touchdown and what have you.
Yeah.
So now typically their weight falls onto the runner's legs, rendering them defenseless. The NFL competition committee discussed banning the move at league's meeting in October. Rick McKay, the chairman of the committee, called the hip tackle the cousin of the already banned horse collar tackle. Okay, this is what I said. Okay, no, you guys are taking this too far. With the whole collar tackle, dude, you could freaking break the dude's back. You know what I'm saying? Like you could break his back, you could break the dude's neck. I've seen injuries before after a horse collar tackle. That is a very, very dangerous tackle because the guy is moving forward and you're grabbing the guy's top jersey right at his neck and you're pulling him backwards as he's moving forward. So I could understand why that tackle is extremely dangerous, but comparing that to a hip drop, I don't consider that to be the same. I don't consider that to be the same at all. And if you're going to use that as an example, as a good reason why to ban that move, I think that's doing a disservice for the whole entire league and for the fans. That shouldn't be the reason why you want to make the you want to ban the move because you feel like it's similar to a horse collar tackle, and it's not.
I
Do you?
I I actually kind of disagree with you there.
Oh wow.
I
Okay, go
actually
ahead.
I actually I actually do think it's the cousin of the horse collar tackle,
Wow.
because ultimately what you're doing is that you're trying to grab him and try to leverage your weight against his to bring him down, which is what people a lot of people did with the horse collar. Because obviously, if especially if a guy's like a little bit faster than you, then the only way that you can really bring him down is by grabbing him from behind.
Hmm.
And I saw this a lot when it came to Ricky Williams. Obviously when he was playing with the dreads, what a lot of guys would do is they would grab his hair to bring him down.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I've seen that. Yes, yes. You're right.
Yeah, so that's why when he came back into the league a couple years after he retired, he cut off his braids. He cut it off. He cut off his dreads.
Hmm.
Now, here's the thing when it comes to the hip drop tackle, right? Now, while I do agree that it is the cousin of the horse collar tackle, the facts are is that when you get rid of this tackle, you immediately make guys tackling bigger opponents impossible. Because how are they going to tackle them then?
Right.
Like how are they supposed to tackle? Because you can't. Because here's the thing: you can't spear them with your helmet. You can't spear them with your helmet, right? If you do a regular tackle, more than likely he's going to brush it off, unless you hit him at the right angle. And to me, I just think that if you're just going to get rid of the tackle, then what can they do? Like really, what how can they tackle?
Yeah, there's really no point of playing defense anymore. And the reason why I say that I don't believe that it's the cousin or it's relatable or it's close is because usually when these hip tackles happen, they're grabbing them right by the waist. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a bear hug. They're grabbing them right by the waist. They're not tackling them anywhere near the horse collar.
No, but
If
the problem is that when they grab them by the hip, they kind of have to go downward, and that's where the leg gets caught up, and that's where you can have injuries to the ankle, to the leg, or whatever.
I mean,
Because
I go ahead.
like you have to like and again, like I know you have the video of the injury, and if people want to see it, like Steve can link it to the Discord. I don't want to post it here because I don't want to see that type of stuff. Like it'll make me nauseous. But
He said
yeah,
he will actually throw up or
yeah,
regurgitate whatever it is that you said.
I don't like watching nasty injuries like that. I don't want to see it. But if you want to post it on Discord, you can.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let me finish
Leave
this
link
and
to the
then
video. Yeah.
yeah, this will be the last paragraph I'm going to read. Okay. So typically, the process of banning moves and changing rules is a lengthy one in which veterans players are consulted and proposals are tweaked before owners vote. Okay, so they actually have veterans say their
Hmm.
piece before they actually. I didn't know that. That's
Yeah,
pretty
yeah, yeah.
cool.
Cause,
Okay.
cause what? Cause okay, so we mentioned the horse collar tackle.
Hmm.
The reason why that tackle was legislated out of the league is because of what happened with Terrell Owens all those years ago. Like the year that Philadelphia went to the Super Bowl,
Hmm.
Terrell Owens was having an All Pro season. Like he and Donovan McNabb were like the top duo, quarterback wide receiver duo, right? And one tackle, I think this happened against Dallas. He got tackled from behind with the horse collar and he broke his leg. And ever since that happened, they legislated the tackle out of the game. So if they're going to do that to the hip tackle, it's gonna be if it's gonna happen, it's probably gonna happen after this year.
Yeah. Okay. So
If
it
it
does
happens.
not. Okay, so it doesn't happen mid-season. Oh, you just mentioned that. However, an anonymous source told USA Today that at least one member of the competition committee has proposed banning the hip drop tackle immediately. So whoever, I don't know who this person is. I wish they would tell me who this person is. But whoever this person is, for him to say that they should ban this thing, immediately, I mean that's crazy. Like you should have at the very least, discuss it, with a group of of analysts, of I don't know, other players, coaches, the training staff, whoever it is that you guys do, whatever how they orchestrate it, do that. But to do it immediately, I don't agree with that. So before let me see if there's anything else important here. Okay, no, nothing else important here. So let me show you guys what happened. Okay, so in this now, I was going through YouTube, and they showed the tackle, but they didn't show the injury. Like all they're going to do is just show what the actual hip drop is. For those of you who are curious, this is going to pretty much show you how he did the hip drop, but they're not going to show the actual result of what happened after the injury. So you're fine. You'll be fine.
On this show. So, Richard,
Can you hear it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
you've been outspoken about how much you disagree with banning the hip drop. The soapbox is yours. It will do away the way it did the horse collar. Fell has indicated it will
All right, so you can see how
claimed another victim Saturday. Florida State quarterback Jordan Travis. The hip drop tackle claimed another victim Saturday.
All right, so what he does, so you can see he grabs him by the waist. For those of you who was curious, he grabs him by the waist, and then you see he purposely falls down to the ground to bring him down, to bring Travis down, because obviously Travis is running forward, so he's trying to find some way to tackle him, and he does that. Instead of pushing his weight onto him, he goes backwards. And this what happens.
State quarterback Jordan Travis gone for the year. Oh, the NFL has indicated it will strongly consider banning this tackle. The horse collar, and Peter King reports the league will do away with it. Jarrett Bell today in USA Today called for the maneuver to be outlawed, as I have on.
So as you can see, like it didn't show the injury, but I'm telling you guys and gals that are here, Whitney, and Rosemary. It was a very gruesome result. Okay, his leg, twisted the other way, and it was not good at sightseeing. It was very bad. It was very, very bad. But I will post it on the Discord in case anybody wants to see it. But this is
link to the injury.
Yeah, the link to the injury. So this is what Skip, and I was very happy to hear what Richard Sherman had to say about this, but I want to hear your thoughts after this video.
On this show. So, Richard, you've been outspoken about how much you disagree with banning the hip drop. The soapbox is yours.
Just ban the game. Just ban the game of football. Ban it, because you're suspending Kareem Jackson for hitting too hard. Yeah, I mean, plays that would be on highlight tapes looped over and over when Sean Taylor did it, when Dawkins did it, when Ed Reed did it, when John Lynch did it. It was played over and over and over, but now it's dirty. You talk about the hip drop tackle. It's a football tackle. You want guys to not tackle, then put flags on them and they'll snatch the flags. But until then, if you want to ban this tackle, just ban the football game in general. It's too violent of a sport. It's too violent of a game. People are too soft these days. So just ban the game, because at the end of the day, runners are trying to drag defenders and gain more yards. And what a defender is trying to do is bring him down. It's not an easy thing to do. And for guys that have never done it, to sit there and tell you how it should be regulated and how it should be officiated is insane. I want you to see me at full speed, Skip, and I want you to try to bring me down. And when I'm dragging you, I want you to not drop your weight down to bring me down. I want you to just let me drag you as far as I can, and then eventually I'll stop when I get to the end zone.
I'm really glad that he brought that up, Hoopy 186. Because, dude, out of all the years that I've watched football, I'm pretty sure you've seen this also, to where a defender would try to drag, especially a running back, and you see the running back dragging the guy, like 5, 6, 7 extra yards, even 10 yards. I've seen running backs would drag, multiple dudes trying to bring him down when they are not doing the hip drop. You know what I'm saying? Like when they're not doing the hip drop and they're just trying to, just tackle him, just normally. I've seen multiple occasions they're dragging other football players, with him because the guy is fast, the guy is strong. Like, we're talking about running backs here, and especially if you're, let's say, a safety or a cornerback, dude, it's very, very difficult for guys who are much, much smaller to tackle a freaking running back. You know what I'm saying? Like I completely understand where Richard Sherman is coming from. You might as well play flag football at this point if you're not going to be able to allow to do the head drop anymore. Like you're saying hitting head to head, which I understand. You ban that. When it comes to the quarterback, you cannot jump forward. You can't land on the guy. I mean, you can't tackle his legs. Like, you're pretty much eliminating all these different options. How are you supposed to bring a guy down when you're trying to tackle him? You're making it, like you said, playing defense impossible when you're constantly eliminating this way how to tackle and this way how to tackle and this way how to tackle. Like, it's too much. It's too much. You have anything to say before I play?
No, you can go ahead.
If you don't want that to happen, then just get out of the way. Get out of the game, because these people have not played the game, and that's clear when you hear them talk about it. This tackle should be banned. What part of it can be banned? A person having weight, you want them to not have gravity? You want them to not wrap people up around their hips? You're like, form them up. Well, you don't get to form everybody up when guys are running 4-3, some of the most dynamic athletes in the world. You're not always going to get them square and get them where you want them. Sometimes you're going to dive and have to try to wrap their hips up. And when you dive and try to wrap their hips up, you got to try to bring them down. And the only way you can bring them down is to drop your weight and to stop.
Yeah, I don't know how you, and as I said to you before, Skip, Richard played defense, and I don't know how you do it any other way. Is there another way to tackle a guy? As I said to you the other day, if I tackle you around the waist and I bring you down, I tackle you. If I attempt to tackle you and I swipe at the ankles and I don't get them because you hop over them like we do in the offseason with the ropes, it allows us to be able to move and transition with our legs a different way when you're trying to chop us. If you jump on my back, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to carry your little ass far. So,
and I'm glad that he said that, because, like I just mentioned earlier, just a few seconds ago, when you have a much smaller guy, let's say a cornerback or a safety, on top of you, and you're not able to do the hip drop, you're to me, that's just dead weight at this point. That's just dead weight at this point. Like, you can't eliminate all these options that that defense have. You've done enough already. Like, you already done enough. So you're constantly putting the defense at a disadvantage if you're going to remove this tackle, and I just don't like it. Let me continue.
Or you're gonna slip off, and I'm gonna keep going. Do you want that to be the case? No, you don't. Now, I'm not gonna go as far as Richard and say because you hadn't played tackle football, you don't know anything about it. I ain't gonna do that. All right, but what I will say
I'm not
is,
saying I don't know anything, but I'm saying if they're saying ban the tackle, that's because you don't have the experience of dealing with it. So you're saying you should be able to avoid doing this.
It's impossible to do. I've said it on the air to you, Skip. I said off the air to you. You cannot. You can't. I understand the horse collar. Yes, you're yanking and you're pulling down. You're simply wrapping somebody down, and now you're pulling them to the ground.
This is the reason why I disagree with you. Like, because I like the way how I pretty much said the same thing, but I like how the way Keyshawn Johnson explained the difference between the two tackle, because the horse collar, you're grabbing him from the very top and you're pulling him backwards. Like, there's really no other direction for you to go except going backwards, where you could break the dude's neck. You could break the dude's back, or you could, like with Terrell Owens' case, break his legs. To me, the reason why I don't find the hip drop and the horse collar, the same, is like I said, you wrap the dude around the waist, and you're just bringing him down either with your weight or from the side, or you end up actually going backwards. There's different ways how the hip drop could be utilized. With the horse tackle, it's just one way. You just go backwards and that's it.
Understood, but the problem is if you're dragging someone down and they're in a position where they're still running, your legs are going to be a target. And that's what they don't want. That's what the league don't want. Now, like I said before, like I don't. If you get rid of the hip tackle, then you literally are saying that these guys who are little can't tackle nobody.
Right.
Now you're saying they can't tackle nobody, because if they can't do the hip drop, then what can they do? You know what I mean? What can they do? And I think they're going to do is they're going to try to eliminate tackles where you're like dragging them behind. And when you're dragging them from behind, whether obviously horse collar or even in the hip, if you grab them by the hip, you have to move forward. You have to kind of like, dive forward when you grab the hips. And ultimately all that's going to do is create more first downs.
Exactly, because you're pushing, you're giving him more leverage after that.
Yeah, you're giving him more yards.
Yes.
And
go ahead.
Like, and to me, like I said before, I think it will get banned. I have a feeling it will get banned.
Dude, I really hope that you're wrong, bro.
I think it will. Gosh. With all the talk, and obviously all it takes is one bad injury for it to happen. Like when it comes to concussions, right? It took a lawsuit. When it came to domestic violence, it took Ray Rice.
Mm-hmm.
When it came to the horse collar, it took
Owens.
Yeah. And then the diving at the knees, when it comes to the quarterback, we know why they changed the rule. We know, I know exactly what happened, what changed the rule.
Oh, Tom Brady.
Yeah, Tom Brady. It only takes one.
Oof. Okay. Let me see if there's anything else that I wanted to mention.
If they're getting caught underneath you, then that's just what it is. There's nothing you can do.
No.
What do you mean?
That's not what they're saying. You can wrap and pull.
That's exactly what they're saying.
That is exactly what they're saying. Explain to me then what they're saying.
In the league office, they're keeping track of this. They say that the hip drop, the slingshot effect, is increasing the injury risk 25 times. So now we've seen Tony Pollard career-threatening. We've seen Mark Andrews career-threatening, although they say he might try to come back. I'll believe it when I see it. We saw Geno Smith throw a fit in Seattle not too long. It was back in week 4, and he went crazy about the Giants because they hip dropped him, and he said, by the grace of God, he survived the hip drop. And now we see Jordan Travis. The problem is...
What's crazy is... the Geno Smith
let me finish, Richard. I'm speaking. Thank you.
I'll let you speak, but you're not speaking from experience. So stop raising your voice, Skip. All right, talk to me, Skip.
All right. Are you going to let me speak or not?
You're speaking on something you don't experience. You have no experience
doing. Snap! What happened?
Listen, let me tell you something. Hell is about to freeze over.
Oh,
I'm going to defend Skip Bayless.
Wait, no, wait a minute. No. Whoa, wait, I'm almost drop. Wait, is this an April Fool's joke? No, hold on. This is an April Fool's joke. Well, we're not in April right now.
No, I understand that, Steve. But I'm going to defend Skip Bayless.
Wow. Okay. Go ahead.
First of all, he let you speak. He gave you all the time in the world to talk about what you're talking about with the hip tackle, right? Yes. He is trying to explain what the NFL position is. and I don't know if you're doing this for TV or not, but you want to bring up him trying to raise his voice at you. He's talking as calmly as I've ever heard him speak.
Yeah.
He's not being combative towards you. So it's like let the fucking man speak.
Yeah. He was actually bringing, even though I still disagree, he was actually bringing, really good points. And I didn't know about the, the 25, like 25 times or whatever he said. I didn't know anything about those numbers. So I thought that was, very interesting.
And also the reason why he let you speak, Richard, is because you have experience. He gave you that autonomy.
Yeah.
So why don't you shut the fuck up and let him return and let him speak?
Yeah, and you could clearly see as Skip was talking how he was shutting his eyes, and you could see his facial expression that he didn't like what Skip Bayless was saying. And look, I understand, and in certain jobs when people say, well, you didn't have the experience of doing this, of doing that, so you can't really say anything about it. I've always disagreed with that, because as long as you see what happened, you do any type of study time, you should be able to be allowed to critique or give your opinion on something, even though you didn't really experience it. We all see what happened, to Travis. We all seen what happened, with Terrell Owens. We all saw what happened, with Tom Brady, and just because we ourselves never played in the NFL, that still doesn't mean we're disqualified to critique of what we see. I again, people will always have leverage over the person who didn't have the experience. I get it, but that still doesn't mean that I'm not qualified to express my opinion about it, or if I'm not qualified to offer, some type of solution. And that's the issue that I have.
And he gave you the grace, because you have the experience, to talk uninterrupted about the topic.
Exactly.
I really don't like this Richard Sherman. I know I'm not.
Okay. But yeah, I think First Take, talked about this also, but I really wanted to hear, two guys who actually played in the NFL, and I wanted to hear, what they had to say. I didn't care about what Stephen A. Smith had to say.
What point can you really make?
For a lot longer than you've been alive.
You've covered the game. I've actually played the game longer than you ever played. So, like, what we're talking about is something that actually happens in the game that you can't experience unless you play it.
Does Rich McKay know anything about football? Keyshawn, help me out.
He knows about football.
Rich McKay, he's an officiator.
He played a little bit. He's been around it for years. Yeah, he knows about football.
Does his father know anything?
Yeah, he knows about football. His father was one of the greatest coaches in college football history.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's kind of like making Richard Sherman look dumb right now when he's asking these questions. So yeah, because again, just because you didn't experience it doesn't mean you don't have any knowledge, about the game, about the job, or about anything.
So Rich McKay explains that you cannot encircle the runner and slingshot your body forward, because you come down with your full weight on the backs of his legs, and if the ankle gets trapped,
yes, that
really
is correct.
Bad things are going to happen, and we see it again and again and again. And I'm just giving you the highlight plays here. I'm only this has happened repeatedly.
So here's what I would ask you, Skip, and I would ask Rich the same thing.
Yeah,
if Richard Sherman hit me in my legs as I was going down the sideline, hit me, is there a chance that he could break a leg, tear my ACL, break my ankle? Break my hip? There's a chance, right?
Okay. This is the slingshot effect, where you're grabbing around the waist and slinging your body forward instead of just pulling down, just holding on for dear life. I got you. But remember, Richard, that this league wants offense. It doesn't want defense. I know you.
And and who we want to say, and after this, we could move on.
Mm-hmm.
That is the one thing that constantly bothered me in recent past. Like I'm really getting tired of the NFL constantly favoring, offense over and over and over again. Like every time when I have watched, a football game like in the past, and then when we would see, like let's say a really hard hit, dude, that's constantly have been celebrated all the time, and over the years, it's constantly been celebrated when somebody hits someone really, really hard. Now, I'm not saying hit him to where he's concussed, but all I'm saying is when we see great defense, when we see great sacks on, let's say, on a 3rd and long, or let's say on 4th down, we see like a big sack. We see the guy, like, I still don't like when, let's say, a defensive lineman lands on the quarterback. I don't like that being the flag. I don't like that being the foul. I think they should allow you as a football player, if you land on top of the guy, I think that should be fair game. But they're constantly taking all this stuff away. They are literally, it could be subtle, but they are literally making the game softer and softer and softer every year. And I'm telling you right now, Hoovie, there's going to be a time to where people, they're not going to be supporting the NFL anymore if they keep going in this direction. Because you're and I'm only saying this only because of this. You're constantly compromising the sport to the point where now you can no longer enjoy any type of defense whatsoever because the defense can't do anything.
Steve, listen, you always get in trouble when you do this, when you speak in absolutes. Here's the thing. Yes, they do prioritize offense. Part of the reason why they prioritize offense is because of gambling. What's the one thing? What do we talk about just recently? When it's something similar to gambling, we talked about fantasy football. Mm-hmm. Fantasy football is an offensive driven fantasy football is offensively driven. Outside of defense, you pick whatever. You don't pick a defensive player. You pick a defense in general. At the end of the day, this sport is offensively driven.
Okay, before you continue, you don't find sacks being impressive or hard hits being impressive? Okay, do you find those exciting?
Yeah.
Okay, so you so like you said, I'm talking about absolutes. You're automatically compromising the sport when you get rid of that.
But here's the thing: the most popular fantasy football, the most popular fantasy sport is football, and football is offensively driven. Fantasy football is offensively driven. At the end of the day, people like offense. People overwhelmingly prefer offense over defense.
But even with all that being said, you have heard many people, and we mentioned Tom Brady before we started the podcast. There's been veterans, there's been fans, like just average fans like us, and sports analysts who's been criticizing the NFL being too soft. Even with all that you have said, you still have many people who's constantly complaining about the sport. You should not want that as a league either. You shouldn't want people constantly complaining about your league being soft. And it's tackle football, and yet you being called soft. That's not a good mix.
Steve, I get it, but at the end of the day, the numbers don't lie. The ratings continue to go up. The revenue continues to go up. Like it goes up, and at the end of the day, like they can say what they want. At the end of the day, when it comes to Sunday, they're going to watch. They're going to watch. So it's like, so again, I get what you're saying. Like I said, I'm against getting rid of the tackle. Like if you want to make it to where like the way Skip explained it, right? Where if you're slingshotting and you're like literally dragging your weight down to his knee, if you want to legislate it, then fine. But like what I'm saying is that if you take away that tackle in general, if you're telling me you can't grab him by the waist and then drag him, or at least find a way to get them down, if you take that away, then there's nothing they can do.
Right.
So I So I don't entirely disagree with Richard Sherman. I don't disagree with him. I just think that he was acting like a child with Skip Bayless. Yeah. But ultimately, but the main thing is that the sport has always is going to prioritize offense, and at the end of the day, they would much rather not have their star players get hurt. That's what they don't want.
Okay. I don't think there's anything else. Let me
play
just double
defense,
check.
but it wants Keyshawn. It doesn't want Richard.
Hey.
Well, that's
yeah. that was a little small shot right there. Yeah, but that just actually just pretty much went in line to what you just said. People want to see Keyshawn Johnson. They don't want to see Richard Sherman, and and unfortunately, you are right about that. Who when he says, I'll give you credit. People would much rather see, a Patrick Mahomes, or Diggs. You know what I'm saying? Like they would much rather see.
Because those are the guys that people know more of. Like you know how many guys I discovered existed because of fantasy football?
Oh no,
yeah, like I'm looking at my team, and let me bring it up. Because I'm just doing it on the phone.
Okay.
Like I didn't know who a Jay Williams is from that played for Denver. What's his name? Javonte Williams. I didn't know who he was.
Oh.
Like,
well, I mean, you have a 53-man roster in each team. You're not going to be able to know every single person on every team. Like that's just impossible unless you're like a diehard. Go ahead.
The only time that I do know about the 53-man roster with the Dolphins, that's it.
Yeah, because I don't, because even for you, as much as you like football, you're not gonna take the time to try to know every single one of these players. Like it's almost impossible.
No, unless I play Madden, which I don't, or if I play fantasy football, and the only time I know any players is with the offensive players, because those are the ones that you pick. You don't when it comes to defense, all you're picking is either a team defense. That's it.
Yeah. Wow. So that's funny.
Yeah, like I have a guy named, he scored a touchdown this week, Khalil Shakur. I didn't know who he was before the season started. A Chad Altman. Alton. I didn't know who these guys are, but now I do because of fantasy football, and it's all on the offense.
Yeah.
F asked, anyone know if rugby is similar in injuries based on the percentages? I like I said, I don't watch rugby. I would be stunned if it's not the same type of injuries. I will be stunned.
Yeah, rugby, dude, they don't have any type of protection whatsoever.
No helmets.
Yeah,
very few helmets. So it wouldn't surprise me if it's the same or more. To be honest with you, but
okay.
Yeah, so
you can have that. But what you're telling me is you're offering problems. You're offering statistics, but you don't offer solutions. There is no solution to this because you've never done it. And so Rich McKay can say whatever he wants, but he can't offer a solution. You can't show me a way that you want these tackles to be corrected because you've never tackled. And so when you're talking to me, I want you to talk from a place of, I'm talking from a place of a guy who's tackled people, who's been in an open field with a runner who can go anywhere. There's a lot of open space. They're dynamic, 4-3, 4-4, sometimes 4-2 runners. So sometimes you're going to catch me diving. And when I get my hands wrapped around him, I have to find a way to get him to the ground somewhere else. It sounds good, but it's not practical.
Look, Richard, here's what I would say. They're not operating from a place of doing it. They're operating from a place of studying.
Yeah.
And it's okay to operate from a place of studying. Even with that being said, Skip, I need you're going to have to demonstrate to me. I don't care if it's on a bag, a blow-up dog, something. You're going to have to demonstrate to me. And I was an offensive guy, but I'll play a little bit defense, hard-nosed tackler. You're going to have to demonstrate to me how are you going to get an individual? How you going to get to be a powerful back? Yeah, how you going to get the big dude, Henry? How you going to get Derrick Henry on the ground? You're not.
You're not.
Okay.
You gotta grab him and pull him and twist him to get his big ass on the ground.
Oh yeah, yeah. So yeah, yeah. We could move on. I pretty much they pretty much said the exact same thing. What I said earlier. Yeah, it's going to be hard to get these big these big guys down, and if you have to pull them down, twist, do whatever it is that you have to do. I mean, you have to leave that, and I hope you're wrong that they do not ban that tackle. It's very unfortunate what happened with FSU. Like I said, I think our season is over. I'm not happy with it. We'll just see, who our backup quarterback is going, how he's going to be, how he's going to perform, going forward. But I'm sad. But do I think it should be banned? No. I just think this hurts our chances to go to the playoffs now. But I don't think the move should be banned. So that's my last thing.
Okay. All right, well, we can move on. This is your topic as well. Ironically enough, the guy who wanted to talk about it ain't here. Where Ruben? I know he's in Seattle. So what time is it in Seattle? Like probably 6 o'clock right now. So he's probably at work. Shout out to Ruben. But
oh yeah, that's right. No, let me just give him a quick text, real quick, because he wanted me to talk about this. But yeah, like you said, he's not here. So let me see. We're talking about your topic.
So while you do that, Malta said that the new Skip Bayless show isn't that great. The new guy could never fill the shoes of Shannon Sharp. Yeah, I guess.
I mean, I actually like the formula, that they have, because since football season, this is football season. I do like the idea of bringing football guys into the show. Now obviously we have the NBA season that started now, but people are really, let's just be honest here. Like the main focus is the NFL. The Ravens. The ratings obviously prove it. The fact that there's only 16. Well, now there's 18 games now. Like it's a short season, so I think people are mainly going to be focusing more, on NFL. If you like both, look at me, I'm focusing on the NFL more than the NBA. Now I'm glad the NBA is doing something nice, with the tournament, which I'm still confused about. Go ahead. You there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Yeah, what were you gonna say?
No, I was waiting for you to say something.
Oh no, yeah. All I'm saying is I do like, just to answer Malta's question. Well, it wasn't a question, but his comment. I do like what they're trying. I like what they're trying to do. I appreciate what they're actually trying to do. They're trying to make it more focused on football, and which is why they brought in Richard Sherman and Keyshawn Johnson along with Skip Bayless. So I do like that. Now I still think Shannon Sharp is better than both of those guys, and actually far better. But now that he's gone, like they had to come up with a solution, and I think bringing two football guys is actually a good solution. It's not better, but I like that direction.
Okay.
Now,
yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say that really the only way that the NBA can get the same level of attention is if they have one player choke out another player. So.
Oh man, how do you feel about that? By the way, do you think the suspension was good?
I personally, I think it should have been. I think it should have been 10 games. In my opinion, it should have been 10. Yeah, it should have been 10 games. Like we like if he didn't want to play it when Steph Curry was on the floor, give him 10 games. F it.
Oh, so you believe what Buddy had said?
The proof is out there. Proof is out there.
And when I saw the numbers, I think he was ejected 7 times out of all the times Steph Curry wasn't there. Like I do find that very, very interesting, bro. I do find it very interesting that he constantly gets ejected when Steph Curry is not there.
Okay.
But okay, on to gaming news. We are going to be talking about Capcom. I've been waiting to talk about this. Charmaine, you had your chance. I text you, and if you're at work, I understand. But I text you again on WhatsApp. But we are going to be talking about Capcom. Go ahead.
So like Kid said, mods is what keeps PC games alive, and it's visuals. Also, they fixed glitches in the game that was never fixed. So yeah, so see if you can talk about this.
All right, so Capcom, do you see the article?
Let me bring it up. Yeah.
All right, so Capcom PC game mods are no different than cheating. Well, when Charmaine gave me this link, I cannot believe out of all the companies, Capcom is actually talking about this and saying that, oh, this is actually cheating. So let me just read it and see what issue do Capcom actually have and what they actually mean by cheating. Resident Evil and Monster Hunter publisher isn't against modding, but does have concerns. So okay, for as long as PC games have been around, people have been modding them, and while players love being able to modify their games, adding new features or fixes, recent comments reveal that Capcom isn't totally on board with such digital shenanigans, with the publisher suggesting that all PC game mods are effectively cheating or cheats. Modding Resident Evil games. Go ahead.
No, I said nothing.
Okay. Modding Resident Evil games has become a pretty popular trend, with the release of each new game in the horror series bringing a wave of fun new alteration from players. Folks sometimes add out-of-place characters like Thomas the Tank Engine or CJ from Grand Theft Auto San Andreas into the spooky games, often with hilarious or disturbing results. We've also seen players remove Leon's shirt from Resident Evil 4 Remake using mods. Yet Capcom has some issues with all this modding, suggesting mods can hurt a game's reputation and increase development costs. Okay, what development costs are you talking about? Because look, as much as I love Capcom and as much as I love most of their franchises, this is really nothing for you to complain about. Now we're going to continue reading, further in this article, but there's really nothing for you to complain about. And here's the thing: how I feel about mods, right? There was somebody who had mod, the new Spider-Man game, to where he had mod to where Spider-Man looked like Leonardo from the Ninja Turtles, and I think I'm trying to remember if I think there was another mod where I think they had used. I can't remember if it was Batman or it was some other superhero. I'm trying to remember, but I can't get it out of my head. Can't get it to my head. Dude, I'm not gonna lie to you. Now you may not be interested, but I always found it fascinating how people are able to take other characters and mod them and put them in a completely different game. And I'll be honest with you. I actually watched. Now I'm not gonna watch the whole entire walkthrough, but it really entices me to continue watch because I'm such in awe of how these guys are just so smart. Like their intellect is just in another level. These guys are prodigies. The fact that they could take just about any character that they want and switch to a different character at will. We've seen that with Street Fighters, with all the bikinis, with Chun-Li and with all the other girls in Street Fighter. We've seen situations like of like guys and different type of suits or whatnot, character changes. Like I find that to be very fascinating. So I'm trying to see where the correlation of how does it relate to cheating. Like there's no cheat codes or anything like that. These guys are not making the profit, from these mods. Like they're not selling it to anybody. So I'm trying to figure out why is Capcom is so butthurt about this. Well, let's continue on. And especially when it says development costs, like I don't understand that. But let me see if there's anything else. Okay, it's spotted as spotted by Games Radar during October 25th, Capcom R&D representation about its game engine cheating and piracy. The company claims that mods are no different than cheats and they can hurt game development. For the purpose of anti-cheats and anti-piracy, all mods are defined as cheats, Capcom explained. The only exception to this are mods which are officially supported by the developer, and as Capcom sees it, all user-created mods are internally no different than cheating. Okay. Okay, it says here, for the purpose of anti-cheats and anti-piracy, all mods are defined as cheats. You still didn't really give an explanation how. You need to give me a proper explanation. You're just speaking too broad. All the statement we're here, the Capcom is saying is too broad, at least for me. Because I don't see where the cheating comes into play here. Like, do you have any idea what they're talking about?
To be honest with you, no. And the thing is that I don't know how the modding community is in Japan. Like, I don't know how the PC community is in Japan, like in general. But Capcom is a Japanese studio, so I don't know what their problem is with modding. But I do have a simple solution. But I'll wait till you finish the article.
Okay. Yeah, I think we're almost done. Capcom goes on. Oh no, there's a lot. Okay. Capcom goes on to say that some mods with offensive content can be detrimental to a game or franchise reputation. The publisher also explained that mods can create new bugs and lead to more players needing support, stretching resources, and lending to increased game development costs or even delays. I can't help but feel my eyes starting to roll. That's funny. That's funny. Kotaku had
they say that, and I'm like, well, they can just get rid of the mod if it has a problem, because it's been there's been problem where someone would create a mod and it would hurt the game or break the game or whatever, and all you gotta do is just uninstall the mod. And if it does break the game, and there's nothing Capcom can do about it, Capcom don't have they don't have an obligation to fix the game. You're the one that decided to put the mod in the game. That's on you, as far as I'm concerned.
And let me also say this. Let's say you're playing Street Fighter, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I want you to be like completely straight up. Let's say you're playing Street Fighter, and somebody modded one of their characters, and let's say they choose Ken, for example, and when they choose Ken, but yet you see him look like Spider-Man. Is that in any way going to distract you from playing the game, or do you think that's going to compromise how you are going to play the game because you see Spider-Man instead of Ken? I'm just using that as an example.
I hope not. I hope not. I can't say definitively if it would or not, but I hope not.
Okay, the reason why I'm mentioning that is because even in an online issue, like let's say they're doing this stuff online with other players, just because, okay, yeah, you might be in awe that you see Spider-Man instead of Ken, or you see freaking Master Chief in a Call of Duty game or something like that. I'm just making up stuff as I go on, just to make a point. Even if they were able to do that stuff online, that still doesn't hinder you from playing the game. It doesn't compromise your performance. It doesn't compromise your type of skill. All it is just extra cosmetics. That's it. So what I'm trying to figure out, where is the part how that is cheating? Like it's not there, because at the end of the day, it's just costume. That's all that it is. All right, let me continue. So Capcom still does have a bit of a point that at technical level, mods and cheats are pretty similar. and trying to create multiplayer games that block cheating but allow modding seems like a tricky, ever-moving tightrope to walk. And Capcom isn't outright saying that mods are bad. No, okay, wait, hold on, wait. If you're saying that, oh, it's cheating and that it's piracy, that's a bad thing. Like, don't like. I mean, that's a bad thing to me. All right, whatever. But bad or that the company is against them. In the presentation, Capcom admits that the majority of mods can have a positive impact on the game. If the mod could enhance experience in a particular game and you could customize it in any way you want, that's a good thing for the gaming community. And even if it doesn't impact the gaming community at all, if that's what it's his game, he bought the game, he or she should be able to do what he sees fit. It's his game. What are you complaining about? However, it's still a worrying that it seems a group of mods and cheats into one technical bucket, especially considering how many single-player games Capcom publishes. Can you cheat in a single-player game? I mean, yes. Can you give yourself infinite ammo or health? But it doesn't hurt anybody else. So hopefully those kinds of cheats and mods in game like Resident Evil won't become something Capcom. Oh, first off, I didn't even know you could still do that. I didn't know you could have, because I remember a few years ago I had asked in the chat, are we still able to? Do we still have cheat codes to where we have infinite ammo, or infinite health, or infinite what call it? Infinite like there's health, infinite ammo, and infinite crap. Man, I can't. What happened?
Lives.
Yeah. Like I didn't even know you could still do that in these games anymore, especially with how the gaming industry pretty much want to take control of everything that you do. I didn't know that you could still do that, but apparently, I mean, I guess that you can, but I didn't know. But anyway, what's your overall thoughts on this stuff?
Truth be told, there's only one solution. If you ever, well, actually, let me read this comment from Kidvid. Mods aren't limited to cosmetics; they can create infinite lives, unlimited health, and more. Game cheats are also considered as mods too. Yeah. So here's my opinion. If you don't like the mods, don't release your games on PC. If you're gonna release your games on PC, mods are a part of that. Because like what Kidvid said, that the modding community on PC gaming is massive. It's massive, and when people have an affinity for your game, and they're on PC, these stuff do happen. Because either they want to mess with the game or whatever. That's what you have to do. That's what you deal with when it comes to PC gaming. And if you don't like it, don't release your games on PC.
You know what? I actually agree with you, Hoovy 186. I actually agree with that. If you have a huge issue with mods, where it's usually on PC anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Now I don't know if you could do any type of modding on your console. Like I don't know. That's where I was coming from. Like, I don't know if you could still have cheat codes or wear different costumes or different characters, especially when it comes to cosmetics. I don't think you could do that on the console.
Kibble said that they have mods on consoles too, but it's a bit harder to do. And USA loves to cheat compared to other countries. I've heard some cheating going on in Korea and in China.
Is it true that the US cheats the most though? You believe that to be true?
I have no idea. But I don't consider using a mod in a single player game cheating.
I don't either. You by yourself.
Unless that score that you have is being uploaded to the internet. Like, no, I don't consider that cheating.
Yeah, I don't consider that cheating either. Like if you're in single player mode and you're a Spider-Man character and you end up looking like Superman, I mean that doesn't hurt anybody. And besides, even like I said, even in a game that you're playing online, if you're happy to see someone, if you're playing Call of Duty or if you're playing Rainbow Six and you're happy to see someone that look like Master Chief, like who cares? Like, I mean, it's still like he doesn't have any sort of advantage over you by looking like somebody else. Now, like Kidvid said, if you have like infinite amount of ammo or infinite amount of health and you're playing online, that's different. That's different. I completely understand that. I completely understand that. But other than that, I really don't see, what the big deal is. I really don't. And to me, especially when it came to, cosmetics, all this really did was just enhance the experience for the gaming community. I think there's more good overall, there has been more good, more pros than there have been cons when it comes to mods. And look, when it comes to modding, it has existed like since back, with Super Nintendo. I don't know if you were able to do cheat codes on the Nintendo, but even when it back with Super Nintendo, Sega,
yeah.
PS1, go ahead.
Yeah. Like Kevin said, like cheats are mods.
Yeah. All that has been part of the gaming community forever. Why are you? There's no need for you to complain about it now, unless you are worried that it's going to hurt your pockets. Go ahead.
Here's the thing: the reason why I think when it comes to that, right? I think what Capcom is against is they don't want their game being featured with mods like nudie mods or the stuff that they mentioned earlier. But it's mainly like they don't want the nudie mods, they don't want the X-rated mods to be associated with their game.
So
and
let me ask.
when it comes to codes, they can control that because they can put the codes in the game. Like mods, mods they can't control that.
So Capcom can control codes, but not mods. Isn't it the same thing?
No. Like cheat codes back in the day, yeah, the codes won't work unless they put them in the game.
Well, hold on, but you had like a third party device like those Game Sharks and those those weren't part of like those codes when you would use a Game Shark, for example. I don't think that was part of the development.
Well, I don't know much about it because I've never used it. But if they have cheat codes in the game, the developers absolutely put those cheat codes in there.
Yeah,
they put them in there. But when it comes to like actual PC mods, they have no control over that. So when there's a viral video of Chun-Li fighting in Street Fighter 5 naked, then yeah, like that's something that they don't want. But I have a solution. If you don't want it, don't bring your games out on PC.
And but I not look. I never seen that mod, but I've seen Chun-Li or Jury in a 2-piece bathing suit, Cammy in a 2-piece bathing suit, or they would just customize their bathing suit in some way, shape, or form, which I find it to be wow, like these guys are really good at this stuff. Again, I don't see why Capcom should have a huge problem with that. I really don't, or any game gaming company, because at the end of the day, it's their game. I think what Capcom wants to do, they want to go to the Microsoft route and they want to have full control of your game. That's what I think they want to do. You guys are just upset because you don't have control or have a say when people mod their game this way or that way, and I think that frustrates Capcom. Because again, why are you going to complain about it for? And if it's mainly about cosmetics, like who cares? It doesn't matter. They let them customize. Because to me, how I feel like modding a video game is no different than you wanting to mod your vehicle or your car or whatever. Like it's yours, it's your property, you bought it, you own it, you could do whatever you want to do with it.
Yeah. Let me read some more comments. He said that he's wrong. He said Sweden has the most video game cheaters USA is second.
Well, that doesn't make it any better, but okay.
He said the codes can still work whether it's in the game or not. How does that make any sense? Unless
yeah,
unless it's like a game okay, if we're talking about old school gaming, right? Like I said, I've never used a Game Genie, I've never used a Game Shark, so I don't know how that stuff works. But if they put in a code in the game, they know the developers know about it more than likely, because they put it in the game.
Yeah. So, Kidvid, if you're still here, you need to elaborate a little bit more.
He would know more than me, but I just find it hard to believe that if I do the classic Contra code in Contra, that is going to work the same in Street Fighter. I don't believe that.
Yeah. Let me read it one more time. The codes can still work whether it's in the game or not. Yeah, I don't think so, because like I said, Kidvid, when I've used the Game Genie before, I used the Game Shark before. I mean, I know I still own it somewhere in the house somewhere, and when with the third party device, I don't think some of those codes that's in the Game Shark were programmed, in the game from the start. You know what I mean?
Yeah. If they monetize the video, Capcom can easily take it down. Yeah, that's true. But like I said, my overall opinion is simple. If you don't want mods in the game, don't release your games on PC. Yes, and then Ryan Meadows in the chat. What's going on, man?
Oh yeah, Ryan Meadows, Randy, aka Ryan Meadows. Have you ever used cheat codes on video games before? I want to know what your answer is, because I have something to say to you depending on what your answer is. But go ahead.
Cheats can still work if it's either in the game or not, like Game Genie, Game Shark, or you can do it manually. Okay, so if you're doing a code manually, then I would say that's a mod. You're modding the game.
Yeah.
You're putting something in the game that wasn't originally developed in the game. When you do a cheat code, like a traditional cheat code, those are codes that were programmed in the game. Like, for example, if you put in a certain code for NBA Jam, right? You can play as hidden characters. Those hidden characters are animated in the game. So that means the developer, while they hid it from you, they put it in the game because they put it in the game. A mod is when you take something in the game and you change it. Like if you do it manually, that's what. If you're doing it, that's a mod.
Yeah.
A cheat is like, not a cheat, but a cheat code is when you're unlocking something that was already made by the developer. You're unlocking something that's already been made by that developer. Yeah. So a mod can be like a cheat code can be a mod, but the way they're done is very different. The way it's done is different. So, I mean, I don't really have much else to say about it, though.
No, I don't think I really have any much to say, except just to ask you before we move on. Mm-hmm. Overall, do you think that cheat codes should officially be banned?
No, unless it's like online, unless it's like competitive. No, they shouldn't be banned.
Okay.
But they really don't do much of that anyway. All they really, if they want to add something extra, they'll just charge you for it.
Wait, what? What's that again?
They'll just charge you for it. Like, make it DLC and they'll just charge you for it.
What, a cheat code?
Yeah, because cheat codes are normally stuff that they add extra stuff to the game. Now the extra stuff to the game is basically just behind DLC.
Oh, you talking about like if you want extra costume or something like that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, no, if they wanted to, because remember, I remember years ago, you, me, and I think Ryan Meadows, how we were complaining about. Remember how back in the day when we would beat the game, they would reward us with extra, a secret weapon or an extra costume. All of those things they used to be for free. Like I remember all of those times where cosmetics, extra weapons were free, or like you said, in NBA Jam, a secret character. All of that stuff was free. Now, if you are able to have some type of cheat code to where you unlock those characters, or you unlock those costumes, you unlock those weapons, yeah, Capcom is going to ban you for that. And any other gaming developer or publisher, yeah, they're going to ban you because they want money from you. They're for sure going to ban you for that. So I mean, so overall, do I think they should be banned? Like I don't think so, only because of the simple fact that it's been part of our entire gaming lives anyway. And for you to ban it now, I wouldn't like it. I wouldn't support it if they decide to ban it. Now, when it comes to online, like you said, if you're playing online and I see that you're using infinite lives or using infinite bullets or whatever, then yeah, you should be banned from playing, or at the very least, I don't know, some type of punishment or whatever. But by yourself, absolutely not. So that's it.
Okay.
Cool topic. Good topic. So shout out to you, Charmaine.
All right. So next up, this actually came up. This actually came up because I just find this whole situation to be. I don't know if I would say it's interesting. I think the reaction to her comment is interesting. I don't think the topic itself is interesting, but I feel like the reaction surrounding it is interesting. I see more cheats on console games compared to PC, believe it or not. I mean, maybe that's when it comes to like you have these special controllers and stuff like that. And I'm sure there's tons, yeah, trust me, especially when you play COD, I'm sure there's tons of that BS going on console.
You seen that before?
Yeah.
You seen people use cheat codes on Call of Duty online?
But they'll cheat on Call of Duty. Absolutely, they would.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember one time it was an old Call of Duty game where you have guys jumping all over the map. Like, and there's no way you can hit them or whatever. And look, the game not being so much supported anymore, so they can get away with it. So I definitely seen that.
I do. How do you feel about when guys are able to find like hidden areas, or like, okay, for example, like in Call of Duty, there was an area, I forgot what the map was called, in Modern Warfare 2, the one that's like the airport. There was when you go up the escalator, I don't know if you remember how it looked like, but there was a section where you go up the escalator to where you go behind this certain glass, and your bullets would not be able to penetrate through the glass, and the players were directly behind the glass, and you couldn't do anything to them. So to me, I think it's pretty cool how players are able to find like hidden areas, or I guess glitches that's within the game. I'm not going to really fault them at that, because that's Activision's job to fix those stuff. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I don't have a problem with those things, but whatever.
Yeah.
Ryan says I use cheat codes. Hell, everyone done before, and that's part of the reason why I don't think it should be banned. It's been part of our childhood. It's been a part of our adulthood. It's been here forever. Don't ban it now. Like, all it does is enhance the experience, at least for me.
Yeah, in 2000 I had the books with cheats in them.
Yeah, I used to have those too, and I used to go online. There was this website that was called Cheat CC. I don't know if you heard of that before.
I have heard of that before.
Oh, you heard of it, but apparently it still exists. Cheat CC. I would always go there when there was a game that was too hard for me to beat. Perfect example, freaking Tomb Raider. And even with the cheat codes, I still couldn't beat the game, because I just didn't know where to go. So having all the infinite health and all the infinite ammo didn't help me at all, because I was just unable to advance in the game. And there was other games also that I used cheat codes for. So I always appreciated the cheat codes.
F said that I saw COD will be enforcing a camping rule. This is the first time I'm hearing about this.
COD will be enforcing a camp. Oh, I think I did hear something about that. I didn't know. I don't know if it was confirmed though. Like if it's confirmed, yeah, I definitely have a lot of stuff to say about that. But I'll look for it. If I really appreciate you bringing that up. But
One more thing. Go ahead.
No, because if they're going to be enforced like a camping rule, no, I don't think you should be able to do that. That's part of gaming. No, you shouldn't do that. And what happened if you're a sniper? Like snipers, all they do is camp if they use the right way.
One more thing about gaming mods. Sometimes they can contain viruses if you don't get them at the right place. Makes sense.
Wow.
And Mota said, of course, thanks to DLC, cheat code culture died down. Yeah, that's 100% what happened. All right, so back on topic.
Want to know why it died down? Because of money. That's why. Yeah. They instead of you having cheat codes, they want you to pay for it. They want you to pay. That's why. It's greed. That's what it is.
All right. So Clarissa Thompson. Let me see if I have an actual picture of her. Let me see if I can find a picture of her. She's done sideline reporting, and the thing is that growing up, we've seen sideline reporting, right? And we don't really think much of it. I don't think much of it, right? I don't think about it. I don't feel like it's that important to the viewing experience. So this is her right here. If you're seeing this right now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So she's on sideline reporting for a long time. Right now she's currently the host of Thursday Night Football. And what she is being accused, what she kind of confessed to, is once in a while, if the coach is not going to give her information let's say if a coach doesn't want to do, how coaches do halftime, when it's halftime, the coach has to do an interview.
Yeah.
If the coaches don't want to talk to her, what she pretty much admitted to doing, and you'll hear what she's saying in a second, what she's admitting to doing is making up a report about what the coach said.
Yeah.
And that I find that to be funny. I also don't find it to be that surprising. Because some coaches don't want to talk to the media. And part of it I do kind of understand. But this is funny because this caused a bit of a reaction. Now, first, before I get to the reaction, let me play this audio. First, let me know if you can hear it.
And I've said this before, so
yeah, perfect.
Okay.
Been fired for saying it, but I'll say it again. I would make up the report sometimes.
And
I've said this before, so I haven't been fired for saying it, but I'll say it again. I would make up the report sometimes because the coach wouldn't come out at halftime, or it was too late, and I was like, I didn't want to screw up the report, so I was like, I'm just going to make this up because first of all, no coach is going to get mad if I say, hey, we need to stop hurting ourselves. We need to be better on third down. We need to stop turning the ball over.
The quarterback.
Exactly. and do a better job of getting off the field. Like, they're not going to correct me on that.
Right.
So I'm like, it's fine. I'll just make up the report.
It would be very funny if you were like, yeah, so I just spoke with Arthur Smith at halftime, and he said Bijan Robinson blew smoke in his face. And that's why he's not getting the ball.
And I've said this before, so I haven't been fired for saying it.
That's what she said.
Okay.
And, that caused a bit of backlash. First of all, what it did, it caused a meme. It caused a meme where everyone has this picture of her and they're pretending to be her, and with a report that is obviously false. Like the Astros will spend a lot of money this offseason. Clarissa Thompson. I think I just talked to Joe Burrow and he's doing great. Clarissa Thompson, aka Joe Burrow, is out for the year, by the way.
Yeah, he's out for the year. That's funny.
So I just spoke to Joe Burrow and the team doctor. Everything is fine, and he should return momentarily. So it caused a meme. But what it also did was cause a stir among other sideline reporters. Right?
Yeah.
So, this article, I'm not going to read the article. I'm just going to read. Hopefully they have, okay. So they have
you can read some of it. Okay.
Okay. So, let me read the first part. Multiple sideline reporters have reacted to the admission from former sideline reporter and current Fox Sports and Amazon Prime host Clarissa Thompson that she would at times make up the content for her in-game reports. And this is pretty much, she said that this is stuff that we heard of already. Right, so I'm not gonna read that. Okay, and then others who currently do the job think that it's not fine. As of this posting, at least 4 prominent sideline reporters have weighed in on Twitter/X.
Mm-hmm.
Now, first up, Molly McGrath from ESPN. This is not normal or ethical. Coaches and players trust us with sensitive information, and if they know that you're dishonest and don't take your role seriously, you've lost all trust and credibility. Tracy Wolfson from CBS. This is absolutely not okay, not the norm, and upsetting on so many levels. I take my job seriously. I hold myself accountable for all I say. I build trust with coaches and never make something up. I know my fellow reporters do the same. So she wasn't happy about it. Okay.
She wasn't happy. Okay. Okay.
NBC's Catherine Tippin called it deplorable. I hold myself to the highest standard in everything I do, Tippin said on X. I know my hardworking colleagues do the same. We earn respect we earn respect the hard way. To those commenting on the irrelevant role of silent reporters, beat it. We are journalists. These actions are not normal. And then finally, and perhaps most significantly, Thompson's colleague at Fox Sports, Laura Oakman, also spoke out about it. The privilege of the sideline role is being the first person in the entire world who has the opportunity to ask coaches what's happening in the moment. Oakman posted. I can't express the amount of time it takes to build that trust. Devastated with the text I'm getting asking if this is okay. No, never. So okay, so and she also gave advice, but you want me to read this guy? I don't really want to read it.
No, I mean just a little bit of it, I guess.
Okay. There's coaches who don't give anything, even apologize early in for it. She said
that's true.
Gather info in these conversations and take with you. He was looking for this. Hope he didn't see that. My point being, you prepare for those instances. In the phone conversation with PFT, Oakman explained that silent reporters have grown accustomed to periodic challenges to their relevance and value. She said that in this case, the disappointment was enhanced by the fact that it came from within. In her efforts to mentor young reporters, she's concerned that this example will cause them to believe that this is an inappropriate way to make it in the business. So, okay, that's pretty much it. And and I think that's kind of where the whole thing, starts to not be funny. You know what I mean? Like I said, I do find some of this to be kind of funny.
But the reason
hilarious. But the reason why these silent reporters are speaking out about it is because what she did, which is inadvertently what she did, she devalued the position of a sideline reporter. That's what she did. Right. Let me read this from Rachel. Barry Bow. I'm not familiar with her, but she wrote a long piece on this, right?
Wow.
Like,
wow. You can't even do that on Twitter. How wow.
Okay. You can if you pay for it.
Yeah. Okay.
I spent 17 years in sports media, and hands down, sideline reporting was my hardest job ever. You're trying not to get run over. You're following the game. You're listening to people upstairs. You're focused on your own hits than you planned, and you're listening to your producer in the truck in your IFB. Once Bobby Petrino ran away from me and into the team box so he didn't have to do his sideline hit with me. Another time, Coach Paul Johnson walked off from me during the middle of an interview. I didn't even ask him anything crazy. He just decided he was done. In shock, I snapped back with a quickness and had to throw it back to the studio. I shared these stories to tell you not once did I think the better option was to make it up. Every single day, I recognized it was an honor as a woman to work in a predominantly male-oriented field. I take my job seriously. I approach it with reverence and respect, and true. I work twice as hard to be respected half as much.
Wow.
While many of you think it's no big deal because you don't see the value of sideline reporters anyhow, please know most all of us, including the brown and black ones, which I am one, worked our butts off to get where we are, and this sets us all back. Not to mention the fact that I take relationships so seriously. If I made up something on the sideline and a coach gets wind of it, and he knew what we did not have that conversation, or that I flat out lied, I was done in the industry. Sad day for females in the industry I love. So that was what she said.
Whoa. Wow.
So yeah, a lot of people had a lot of things to say. I think there was someone else predominant that had something to say. If I want to see if I could find her tweet. I think it was Lisa Salters who said, and I mean, I'm sure you've heard of her before, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I heard of her. Yeah.
She's a long time reporter. I don't know if I can find it in time, but like she had something to say about it, and the backlash was so severe that Clarissa Thompson had to come out with an apology. Let me share it here. This is her apology. She did it on Instagram. Okay, let's address the elephant in the room. I have a responsibility to myself and my employers to clarify what is being reported. When on a podcast this week, I said I would make up reports early in my career when I worked as a sideline reporter before I transitioned into my current host role. Working in media, I understand how important words are, and I chose the wrong word to describe the situation. I'm sorry. I have never lied about anything or being unethical during my time as a sports broadcaster. Well, hold on. I think there's more. Okay. In the absence of a coach providing any information that could further my report, I would use information I learned and saw during the first half to create my report. For example, if a team was 0-7 on third down, that would clearly be an area they need to improve in the second half. In those instances, I never attributed anything said to a player or coach. I have nothing but respect for sideline reporters and for the tireless work they put in behind the scenes and on the field. I am only appreciative and humbled to work alongside some of the best in the business and call some of them my best friends. So that was her apology.
Okay.
Now, yeah. So pretty much what she's in trouble for is essentially that she kind of exposed the job in a sense. Right? She exposed the job, and she took a lot of people down with her. And like I said, it's not a big deal to me because I don't give a damn about sideline reporting. Like I just don't care. But
don't care about sideline reporting, yeah.
No, I really don't care. But I can understand if you're in the business and you hear someone she's already done the job and she's already in a higher position now. She's already like she's as I wouldn't say as high as she's ever gone, but she's in a good spot, being the host of Thursday Night Football, right? To have someone who had made it, who knows how hard it is, to come back and diminish it on a podcast and inadvertently affect the people who are there now, I can understand being upset with that.
I could understand and comprehend why the people who are there now would complain about it, especially if they try whatever it is that they can, if coaches or players are not cooperating, and because I've seen it, not all the time, but I've seen it where a reporter would try to chase down one of the players so he could talk to them, she could talk to him, or if a coach just walks off. Like I've seen that happen, and perhaps they're probably embarrassed about it, and to them they probably feel like their job gets harder because it's part of their job description to give information for people who are watching it on TV. I get it. So having said all of that, do I blame her completely? No. I blame the people who are constantly giving her a hard time. You see, this is the reason why I completely understand that the backlash that players and coaches and managers are constantly getting when they do not want to talk to the media. You're making it harder for other people who is trying to make ends meet. You're making it harder for them. And if she felt like she had to tell a fib because a coach doesn't want to cooperate with her, well, you have to be consistent. If you're going to go off on players for not talking to the media or not talking to reporters, you have to do the same thing with the coaches. If the coaching staff do not want to talk to you, and you do nothing, to these coaches, you're not thinking, you're not taking a deep dive of what's going on, and it compromises the job of all these reporters. Like I completely understand where she's coming from. If her job gets harder because people don't want to cooperate, she has to think of a solution to, at the very least, make it seem that she's doing her job. But the problem is, part of her job is to get information, and if the information is not being met, then what is there for her to do? Like, she's pretty much stuck in the pickle.
No, so really. She could have easily just said, "Oh, he wouldn't talk to me."
Yeah, but here's the thing: if she's now, I'm pretty sure this wouldn't happen, because I'm pretty sure not all coaches are not like Bill Belichick. But if this was happening every week, I guarantee you the common denominator is going to be, well, you're just not doing your job right. Eventually, they're going to point the finger at her if each coach doesn't want to talk to you. So I go ahead.
That could be true, but you also remember it's more than just halftime show. They do have to, they do report on injuries and stuff like that also.
Yeah, of course. And now, which is why I find it interesting when you said you don't really care about that. I think that stuff like injury reports is definitely imperative.
That is more important. Yes, I admit to that. That's
okay.
But halftime, I don't give a shit what the coach has to say at halftime. I really don't care. Like,
okay. Well, yeah. I mean, I get what you're saying, but at the end of the day, though, whether if it's in the halftime show or let's say, post, game show, when they're constantly, being asked, these questions, like, don't make it hard, for these reporter. Just and if it's about football and it's not about your personal life, just answer the questions, because you signed the contract too. And if you're supposed to talk to the media, then talk to the media. Don't make it harder on the reporters to where now she has to revert to lying or telling a fib because you don't want to talk to her.
Hold on. I'm watching TNT right now, right? I'm watching the game right now. And
which game are you watching?
Well, it's Philadelphia and Cleveland right now.
Okay.
It's the game pretty much. Oh no, it's 2-point game. But that's not what I want to talk about. I just saw a score in another game. Like, I'm rewinding back right now.
Okay.
Apparently, the Pacers beat the Atlanta Hawks, right? The Pacers beat the Hawks by the score of 157 to 152.
What?
No overtime. No overtime.
What? Was this one of those tournament games?
Yeah.
157 to 152. Dude, there had to have been just jacking threes throughout the whole entire game.
More than likely, yeah.
What?
157 to 152. That's crazy.
And you said no overtime?
No overtime.
How the heck is that even possible? That is crazy.
It is crazy.
Wow.
But yeah. Oh, I'm sorry for interrupting.
No, I think I pretty much said what I wanted to say. Like if you're whether if you were a coach or if you were a player, you know, you're making it difficult for the reporter, you know, to do his or her job.
Yeah.
When you don't want to talk. And
but what yeah, okay. No, go ahead, continue.
Yeah, when you don't want to talk. You also sign the contract just like the players. You also have the obligation, you know, to talk to reporter. You also have the obligation to talk to the media. And if you're going to make it hard, you know, for these, you know, for these reporters, then I mean, like it just makes you look like a hypocrite at the end of the day. That's what it does.
Yeah.
Because if we're gonna make this a habit to where we have to keep these, you know, these players accountable, and if she had to do this in a consistent basis because coaches didn't want to talk to her, well, you know, they should be held accountable too. Otherwise, don't make them sign contracts that they have to talk to the media then. And then we will need reporters, and then reporters will lose their jobs, and then we're not going to get all the info that we need. It's all going to cause a huge mess. So I understand where she's coming from. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. So I do too. But with that said, you can't do what she did. You can't do what she did. You can't make up a report because you know you didn't get nothing from the coach. And I agree with you. Where if the coach, look, if you don't have nothing else, if you don't have nothing major to say, then just do the basic. If you're like she said, if you're 0 for 7 on third down, just tell her, yeah, we just need to do better at third down. That's it.
Yes,
that's all you gotta do. So I'm not trying to crucify her. I know some people are really upset with her. You know, and if they're in the business, I understand, right? And you know, there's a lot of people who are saying, "Oh, I don't really care." Like me, for example, I don't really care. but to me, but to me, you can't do what she did, and it does set a bad precedent because she admitted this, and look at where she's at. She's on Thursday Night Football. She moved on up
for sure.
So you definitely don't want it to be you don't want this to be something that a young reporter would do. You don't want that. But
okay, so do you find this a big deal or no?
Still no, not for me. No.
Oh, okay.
For other ones, yes. For them, yes. For me, no.
Okay.
I'll do just fine. I just want to talk about it because the reaction was more interesting than the actual story itself.
No, trust me. When you was reading the you know the comments, I was laughing for good reason. Like they were very funny. It was very, very funny.
Yeah. So Malta says fake news. She should work for CNN. And he said that how do you spread false propaganda when so many people want to hear the truth? I mean, like you said, it's a two-way street. The coaches have to participate in that too.
Yes.
And I mean, what she said, if what she's saying is true, she wasn't saying nothing that if she did ask a coach will probably tell her the same thing that she made up. It's not like she made a report that was like out of the blue. But what happened was that she just made up a report, and when you're a journalist, you can't do that. It's against the ethics of journalism to just make up a report.
But that may be true, but we have caught so many people doing it already anyway.
Oh,
like for example, as much as I like him, I have to call him out on it. I don't know how you feel about Chris Broussard, But all that mumbo jumbo that he was talking about when Kawhi Leonard, or he was going to the Lakers, or he was going to the Clippers, or he was going to stay in Toronto. Like, I don't know if you remember, he was just all over the place.
Oh yeah, I remember. He was a complete bullshitter. Absolutely.
Yeah. Like I
But,
said, go ahead.
But the thing is that sometimes guys get it wrong. You know, they have sources. And look, I don't know what his sources are, but I seen this man look at his phone when LeBron James decided to go back to Cleveland, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I guess Jay Crawford asked him to confirm. And he's like, yeah, he's going back to Cleveland. Like, bro, it was already broke. The story was already broke hours ago. What are you looking at your phone for? You know what I mean?
Oh, that's funny.
The news was already confirmed. So yeah, he's a hack. But like I said, like if you get it wrong, that doesn't mean that he's lying or nothing like that. At least for most people.
Yeah.
Sometimes they get it wrong. Sometimes they get it wrong, and that's fine. But what you can't do, you can't make up a report. And there's definitely been journalists who do that.
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah. And and there's no doubt in my mind. I'm pretty sure Stephen A. has done it. You know, when he's always talking about, oh, I have resources, or I have sources. You know, told me this, told me that, and I'm just like, yeah, okay, yeah, whatever, man. So I do believe, whether if it's a reporter or a sports analyst or a journalist, whatever.
Actually, I don't agree with that. I think he knows more than he leads on. But what he does is that he throws a little bit of a carrot out there. Like the stuff he was saying about Kawhi Leonard, right?
Mm-hmm.
About oh, you get this, you get that. And he never devolved into what he got, but he knows more. He knows more than he's leading on. But what he likes to throw that carrot out there because he has sources. Okay. He did the same thing with Mark Jackson. Like when Mark Jackson, apparently Mark Jackson was up for the next commentary job, but I guess Mark Jackson said he turned it down, but there was a report saying that he got fired from that job. And Stephen A. Smith defended Jackson, saying that there are certain people in the industry who are trying to hold him down, who are trying to make him look bad.
But he never, and I bet you he never gave any names.
No names. He just threw the carrot out there. He threw a little bit of the carrot out there, like he can kind of give you a little bit of bait, so that you would ask questions, but he would never give you the answer.
Yeah.
So I think the opposite is true. I think he knows a lot more than he leads on, but he likes to tease it. Just because, like he did the same thing with Terrell Owens when they were beefing, right? He's saying
for sure.
Yeah, all he has against them, but he won't release it and everything like that. So regardless of that, like I thought the reaction was interesting, but the story in itself is not that interesting.
Okay. All right, so I guess we're gonna move on from this one now. So you're done, right?
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay, so
I am gonna get ready. So go ahead, get to your last topic while I get ready.
All right, let me share before you leave.
Oh yeah. No, I'm not leaving. I'm just gonna get ready. Just gonna get ready for work.
Okay, so like right here. Okay. All right, everybody. This is the last and official topic for today, and I think we're doing somewhat good on time. And this is something that I myself did not want to happen. I didn't want this to happen. To me, I believe that Westbrook has been playing well in LA. I think he had found his home, and I think, especially with all the crazy fiasco that had happened with the Lakers, I was actually really happy how he was able to bounce back. What happened?
No, go ahead. No, I said none.
I was happy that he was able to bounce back. He pretty much played, like himself, like he was as if he was in OKC. But now this happens. So sources, Russell Westbrook will come off the bench for LA Clippers tonight. Well, this is an old article. This is how old is it? Okay, November 17th. Okay, so yeah, it's a few days old, but he is now coming off the bench, and I am not happy about this. So let's let's see what's going on here. So the Los Angeles Clippers will bring Russell Westbrook off the bench in Friday's and season tournament game against the Houston Rockets, which I believe they won that game.
Yeah, I think they won. I think they won a couple in a row.
Yeah. So swingman Terrence Mann will start for the first time this season in place of Westbrook, sources say. Westbrook approached the coaching. This is the reason why I want to talk about this article. So Westbrook approached the coaching staff with the idea to help the first unit develop some chemistry and to provide the second unit with spirited play, sources say. Westbrook, the vocal leader of the team, told the coaching staff he wants to do whatever it takes to win, sources say. The Clippers, 3-7, have lost 6 in a row and 5 consecutively since acquiring James Harden. Head coach Tyronn Lue told BMR this week that getting these accomplished players to sacrifice and buy in to reduce roles is his toughest challenge as a head coach. Lue is using an experimental period to evaluate new rotations and lineups. BR reported on Wednesday that Lue was not married to starting lineup that featured Westbrook, Harden, Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, and Zubac. The organization wants to afford Harden the freedom to play his game and continue to stress to the star the importance of being himself. Well, okay. You talking about being himself. He have been himself throughout his entire career and hasn't won anything. The formula that he has does not work. And now that he is no longer in his prime, that is not a solution to success for me. Now I'm gonna get back to Westbrook, in a minute. But this, pretty much irritates me because you have a guy who's tried to be himself, and you know what happened when he be himself? He does not show up in an elimination game in the playoffs. That's what he gives you. And to me, after all this time of him bouncing from this team into that team, into this team, into that team, you decide to punish Russell Westbrook, put him on the bench instead of James Harden, despite the fact that the team started losing once James Harden has arrived. They were perfectly fine prior to James Harden being there. They were perfectly fine. They started losing once he arrived. And who do you punish? Who do you want to start from the bench? You should have said, no, Westbrook, we are going to put James Harden on the bench. Quite frankly, I think that team, now you might disagree with me when I say this, but before James Harden had came, I thought that as long as Kawhi Leonard could stay elite, I think that team was a championship team even before James Harden got there.
Yeah, I don't know if I agree with that.
Yeah, I think they would have been a championship team regardless. If Kawhi Leonard stayed healthy, that's the key of what I wanted to get.
That is the key. That is the key. Yeah.
Yeah, if he had stayed healthy. Now let me continue on. In this second straight year that Westbrook began the season as a starter before accepting a reserve role early in the season. Last season, the Los Angeles Lakers head coach Darvin Ham removed the former MVP from the starting five after the team got off to an 0-4 start. But on this occasion, Westbrook made the call and is a selfless move that garnered praise throughout the organization, sources say. Sources is averaging 14.7 rebounds, 5.7 assists in 10 games this season. So clearly, with these numbers, he was playing fine. He was playing fine. And look, this goes to show that, yes, Russell Westbrook is not a selfish player. He's not a selfish player. And the reason why I appreciate him so much, whether if it's in the regular season, and this is the one thing where I appreciate him more than Jimmy Butler, he plays and never cheats the game of basketball, whether if he's in the playoffs or in the regular season. He plays hard every night. He's the now. I know you're gonna say, "Oh, well, don't compare him to Kobe Bryant." I'm just talking about the work ethic. He constantly plays hard. He never wants to cheat the game. He always putting 110% every single time when he's playing. The same thing that Giannis. Giannis does the exact same thing. That dude always plays hard and never cheats the game of basketball. LeBron James too. I'll put LeBron James, too on there. But there's not that many players in the NBA to where you could constantly and consistently see them playing extremely hard in every single game. You don't see that. You don't see that in the NBA anymore. And Russell Westbrook has done it. These numbers proves that he could still play and that he could not just score points, but also rebound and do his assists like he usually does. And for him to start on the bench, I think is a low blow. The person that should have started on the bench, that should be on the bench, is James Harden, clearly. You had your chance on Houston, you failed. You had your chance in Brooklyn, you didn't want to be patient. And you had your chance in Philadelphia. And now that you're in LA, because of you, now Westbrook has to start from the bench. I don't like this, man. I really don't. And as much as how I say that James Harden is one of my favorite players, I'm really disliking what he has been doing in recent past, and I do not like what he's been doing now. Yeah, fine. You had the game winner in Houston. That's nice. Good for you. Whatever. Yeah, good for you. At the end of the day, you completely disrupt the chemistry of the Clippers by having Westbrook start from the bench, and that's on you. And I wish that Lou would have had the backbone and said, "We're not losing because of you. We have been losing because of Harden. So Harden is going to be on the bench, not you." That's what Lou should have done. All right, what's your thought?
Look, I agree with you, but Russell did the right thing for the team. He did the right thing for the team. Now, most have said that Russ is way better than Harden. Honestly, I think Harden's a better player. And I'm not a Harden fan, but I think Harden's a better player. So, and we all know, listen, he's a diva. We all know this about James Harden. So, if you give him what he wants and he performs well, then your team will win games. I don't know if they'll win a championship. I don't think you can win a championship with James Harden. But if this makes him happy and you can accept the role on the bench, then props to you. I give Russell Westbrook all the props in the world. If what they're saying is true about him accepting the bench role willingly, I give him props for that. Because trust me, he's a better man than me. I would have said, "Fuck that dude. I'm not coming off the bench." But he's a better man than me, and he is doing what's best for the team. Because them two starting together cannot happen. They can't start together. If they can end the game together and the matchups work, then I guess then fine. But those two can't play together.
But let me ask you though. Doesn't this also, wouldn't this hurt Russell Westbrook's future? Do you really think he's going to get a good contract after this year? Now that he's going to be on the bench, I don't think so.
I mean, if you show that we all know he's shown that he can still play, but he's also more importantly shown that he can sacrifice his numbers for the betterment of the team. And that's something that a guy like Allen Iverson, and I like to bring him up because I feel like they're kind of like evolutions of each other. Like AI, both men were small for the position, right? Both guys were explosive scorers. Guys who were explosive scorers, not guys who weren't like defensive guys or whatever. But here's the difference. The big difference is that Russell Westbrook has shown that he's willing to come off the bench and help his team play a reduced role. That's something that Allen Iverson could not do. And that's one of the reasons why Allen Iverson left the league as early as he did. When he couldn't score 20, 23, 24 points a game, it was over for him.
Yeah.
Because he wouldn't accept a smaller role. And he frankly, the game, I would say the game passed him by.
Yeah, and I remember that team, no matter what team he went to, like they were just constantly losing with him being there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The year that, and I remember this because I remember we had a conversation about it, and you're right. I thought the year that Denver went to the Western Conference Finals was the year that Allen Iverson was there, but no, it was the year after he left.
Yeah.
And he got replaced by a player in Chauncey Billups, who, if you think about the pantheon of basketball players, right? We all will put Allen Iverson ahead of Chauncey Billups.
Correct.
But they were a better team with Chauncey than they ever were with AI. And that's just the truth.
What's even worse was that AI and Carmelo, they were in the top 2, top 3 in points per game.
Yeah.
And they still couldn't, make it far in the playoffs. No, that's unbelievable.
Didn't they lose to the Lakers in that first year, or was it the Utah Jazz? It was one of those two teams they lost to.
I thought it was San Antonio that they lost to.
You might be right. You might be right. But
because I think it was San Antonio. I think.
Yeah, but like at the end, if you're a negative to your team, then you're not going to get. The older you get, the harder it is for you to be on a team. You saw it with AI. At least with Russell, you're seeing a guy who's willing to sacrifice for the betterment of the team, and I believe that's what he did here. Even if it don't work out, he's already shown that he's willing to sacrifice for the betterment of the team.
Yeah,
and any team who gets him will be better off for it because they know that he's there to win. He's there to win, and I hope he does. And I hope he ultimately gets his ring.
Definitely. Wait, really? Because you didn't like Westbrook before.
No. I wasn't the biggest fan of his game, and our argument with him was always that you were saying that he was better than Durant, and I was proven correct there. But the thing is that I do hope he wins the ring because he deserves it. Because he's shown that he's a guy who will do whatever it takes to win.
Yeah.
When it comes to Harden, I give Harden credit. He did change his game in Philadelphia. He did. But when it was time for you to contribute in playoffs, you didn't do it. You didn't do it against Miami a couple years ago. You didn't do it last year. And like you said, you force your way to LA, and you're the missing piece. So if you don't win, then I mean, I'm not gonna say it's over for his career, but
no, I'm not gonna say it's over for his career. I'm pretty sure somebody will take him, but I guarantee you he's not going to have the contract that he's looking for. Contract that he was looking for with John Moore, that contract is gone. He's never going to get that. He is not going to get it. So he better put himself together, and he better show up when they go to the playoffs. I'm pretty sure they'll probably be maybe in the top 4, maybe. Depending if Kawhi Leonard stays healthy. I don't think he is. I'm going to predict, and I hope I'm wrong, that Kawhi Leonard is going to get injured again. But if not, if he actually stays healthy throughout the playoffs, I think they could actually make it far. If he's, the old Kawhi Leonard. But at the end of the day, James Harden needs to show up. Now that the coaching staff had chosen you over Westbrook, you better show up from now on.
Yep.
I'm telling you right now, you better show up. You better do your job. You better score. I expect you to play defense, at least some sort of defense. You know what I'm saying? Like I expect you to come back to and try to redeem yourself from all the garbage that you have given to each and every team that you have been in. No more of that. No more of this foolishness. No more of you being a prima donna. Now that Westbrook is on the bench and you are the official starter, you better show up for every single game and every single playoff game. That's what I want to see. Now that that decision is final, that's what I want to see from James Harden. Now, at the end of the day, I still think he should have been on the bench. I think he should have been on the bench. But, Lou agreed with Westbrook. I applaud what Westbrook has done. And besides, maybe he felt that he didn't have a choice. Because, we all know James Harden would have never do this thing what Westbrook had did.
Yeah, I have a hard time believing he would have done it also.
Yeah, I don't think he would have went to Lou and say, "Oh, I want to start from the bench so I can help the team win." He have always thought about himself, which is why he made himself fat in Houston, which is why he decided to leave Brooklyn, and why he wanted to leave on Philadelphia. It was all because of him. He didn't care about his teammates, and I believe the exact same thing had happened in the Clippers. He would have never gone to Lou and say, "I want to be on the bench." So Westbrook took it upon himself, and I really show him so much more respect. Much more respect. So kudos to him. I still feel bad. Hopefully this doesn't compromise his future and his contract, because I think he's only getting paid like $3 million this year, which is very, very, very low for a top caliber player like him. Like that's a ridiculous contract in my opinion. But hopefully he'll be able to get a good contract after this year.
So last comment for tonight, Russ is top G for the Clippers.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I guess, but at the end of the day, he did the right thing. So we should applaud him for doing the right thing, and let's just hope that James Harden's not a bum in the playoffs. So
agreed.
On that note, let's get out of here because I gotta go to work. Mosta, thank you for watching. Kidvid, thank you for watching. F, thank you for watching. Ryan Meadows, thank you for watching. Who else we got? Rosemite, thank you for watching. Brian, thank you for watching. Critical Drop, Raggedy Joe, thank you guys for watching. David, Anointed, thank you for watching. Let's see, one more. Whitney, thank you for watching. Conspiracy Agent, thank you for watching. Hopefully everything going good with you, bro. Alicia, thanks for watching. And I believe that's it. So like I said, we'll be back next Monday, hopefully Monday, for another podcast. We do want to do the Game Awards podcast. Obviously before December 7th, because that's when the show is happening. And we are tentatively scheduled to do a I guess you call it a combined cast. Because first off, like, we do what we want to do. We want to do the podcast while the Game Awards show is on the air. So I don't know if we're gonna do like a simulcast or something, but we will watch the show together as a community. Okay. And we will have a combined community, because hopefully our partners, like, we have to make sure that they're ready to go. We want to make sure that our partners are ready to watch with us, so we can discuss gaming and all the other shenanigans that we can talk about.
Yes.
Yeah. So like we will do like a Game Awards show where we do our votes. We talk about the nominees and all the other stuff, and then we will actually cover the show live December 7th, Thursday. What time does it start? 7:00. Yeah. So just hopefully Steve's off that day. I know I'm off that day. So hopefully our partners, like, we have to make sure that they're ready to go. If they're ready, then we can do this thing, and it'll be fun. It's gonna be long though. It's gonna be long. Hopefully it'll be fun. Yeah. But on that note, this will be 6. I'm done. I'll give you the last word, Steve.
Yeah. So once again, it's always good to have you guys on here supporting this podcast, supporting the channel. It is great. And yeah, I'm looking forward for the gaming awards. I'm looking forward to all the guys that are going to be joining us. And I might as well tell you guys who were like, Critical Drop. He actually came up with the idea, and I think it's a very good idea. So we'll definitely keep you all posted, for that. Looking forward to it. Once again, big shout out to you, Anointed 1988. And who was the other new person that was there with us?
Alicia.
Alice, right?
Alice.
Yeah, Alice. So, and I appreciate you, Alice. Like, this was, fantastic to get some new people on this channel. Hopefully you guys come again, and you ladies come again next week. We'd love to have you here. After all that, Huey has to go to work. So Huey has to go to work. So this is the Traditionalist 101 signing out. Have a good one.
All right, later, guys.